Jesus.
Oh my
See my face.
You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, let's do it. I'll just start it off like the podcast, I guess. Hi, everybody. We're recording this first SuperHouse video. This is going to be about the games that we think are the most heavy metal video games around. And we're going to basically treat this like a video podcast and throw it up on the youtube.com/SuperHouse podcast. And anyway, I guess I'll start off the thing right now. Let me look at my notes. So my picks were Castlevania. I think that's one of the most metal games of all time.
Yes.
And I think that it is reminiscent of Rhapsody, Nightwish, and Luca Turilli. Okay? Luca Turilli is from Nightwish, so what the fuck does it matter? And then Monster Parody. This is a Japanese game that actually was never released, but it's become popular in like the downloading ROM world. And I think it's kind of similar to Lordy and Gwar. And then I think the most metal video game of all time is Brutal Legend for PS3, I think. And
Yeah.
I would say that's the one with what's his name?
Jack.
Because that one actually has like
Jack Black.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
actually has like licensed metal tracks on it.
Yeah, like over 100 tracks. That would have been
Yeah.
one of my picks as well. And
Right.
I got a good one.
Okay, go ahead.
There was a Sega Genesis pinball game by Motley Crue called Crue Ball.
Oh shit.
Yep.
And it would start up with Dr. Feelgood, but because of the MIDI like quality of the guitar playing, it was even more metal than like the original guitar. It has this like it starts with this like chugging and then, like all the sound effects and shit, and the whole rest of the game is you just like exploding guts and shit all over pinball. It's a good one.
Can you sing us more of the melody to that song right now?
It's like and there's like all these sound effects that are like there's like demon heads laughing at you and shit when you lose a ball and everything, and then it's just like, damn, you can headbang to this fucking game all the way. And then if you got a certain level of points, you'd break through to this next level of the machine, but right before it cut back to you playing that level, it would cut away and it would have this fucking it would have parked cars out on the road and be a house playing like a little bit of metal, and then all of a sudden it would go, turn it up.
Oh, I think I've heard that.
And then you'd see the car. I forget. I think some of the windows in the cars or whatever like explode out, and then it cuts back to you playing the game. It's fucking metal.
Sweet, bro.
Here.
You have any others?
I got more.
Okay, what's one other one you got?
Altered Beast.
Oh,
Just
fuck
in
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good
Just
one.
Exactly.
Just in aesthetic and mood, it's like a black metal album about a werewolf that's seeking revenge. So, I mean, that doesn't seem too uncommon in black metal music. Maybe.
And what
Demons,
band would
anyway.
you relate that to?
I would say
6 Feet Under?
Well, you know what? It's not going to be very conventional, but like Burzum's electronic albums that he made in prison, because they're black metal albums that he only had like a Casio keyboard to make them. But it's that same metal aesthetic, only it happens to be because of that type of keyboard he used, basically video game music.
All right, cool.
Have you not heard it?
Who's next? I never heard that, no. I never have.
All right, I'll send it to you.
Maddie, you're up.
Okay, all right. My first one, Doom. I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
probably the most metal
Good
video
pick.
game.
Good pick, yeah.
I don't even think I need to really say anything else, except I would probably put Cannibal Corpse with that.
Yeah.
My second pick was Spider, which was the game where you were the little spider who had like the gun arm and then the knife arm.
That's PS1, right?
Yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
And I think Trent Reznor or Nine Inch Nails did the soundtrack, the score for that. So I'm just gonna go with like Nine Inch Nails for that. So, and
Okay.
then I picked Dark Souls 3 because I've been playing it, and this isn't necessarily a metal album, but I picked John Carpenter's Lost Themes 2 because I was listening to it and playing the game at the same time because I wanted to play and listen to the album, and I was like. I couldn't decide if I wanted to listen to the album first or play the game first, so I just put them both on, and pretty cool that it kind of like matched up like with it, and it just had this like epic feel to it. But those are my picks for metal games.
Awesome. Who's next, James or Matt Johnson?
James, go ahead.
Yeah, I can go. Probably like one of my first picks would be Diablo.
Okay.
Just pretty much that whole series. Has like a very dark cathedral look, especially to the first game, where it's just like at night you're going down into deeper and deeper into like the basement of this church that's been taken over by demons, eventually until you just reach hell. So
That doesn't sound metal at all.
Nope, not metal at all. I was also gonna pick your top pick, Andrew, as well.
Brutal Legend, yeah.
Yeah, that game, like, it's a great thing. Like, an interview with them also talked about, like, anytime you stop in that game and just scan the environment, it basically looks like a metal album cover.
Nice.
Yeah, it's very
Play
purposeful,
that again.
that kind of thing.
Yeah. That, and then my third pick probably be a little bit different, is Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. I don't know if any of you played that, where it's just like every boss battle you go into, like, actually starts off with like some heavy metal riff. Like most of it's a bit more. I would
It's
say
like J metal.
yeah,
like really,
more J metal, more like almost shitty heavy metal. But yeah, it still like invokes a lot of heavy metal themes in that, where you're just like going up and slicing up dudes with a blade, and like your first fight is against a giant Metal Gear, and whereas if you know the series, like those are always the big bosses. This is the first boss, and you just like run up its fucking arm and start cutting it up. To like when the metal riff is starting to play during the boss battle, that's when the actual lyrics start kicking in as well. So it's actually a pretty great moment in that.
Awesome. Johnson.
Excuse me, I have to speak softly. Lady friend is sleeping in the room.
My lady
So I'll
friend.
talk to you in my deep, soothing voice. Also, I got a bit of a scratchy throat.
Yes.
So many excuses.
Just hold your mic closer to your face.
Well, it's the computer. I can't. I'd have to put the laptop
No,
in my face.
your headphone
No,
doesn't it have a mic on it?
No, they're not mics.
My bad.
Well, I thought we were going to play videos and watch them, so I had like a video prepared.
Do you have? Can you send that to the chat? I think you can actually.
I mean, it'd take too long to look at it now, but you know, Andrew, you mentioned last time, like for me, all I needed was like something that's like war, robots, and like metal music. So
Yeah.
my choice was Armored Warriors.
Okay.
It's a Capcom game from the 90s. It's basically like Alien versus Predator, but with like 3 story-tall robots that just punch the fuck out of each other.
Yeah.
And you're like a modular battle platform, so you can change out your arms, you can change out your legs, you change like you get shoulder weapons, and it's just fucking cool. It's metal music the whole time. You just fucking beat the shit out of giant robots. It's great.
Nice.
Was there a band that you would liken it to at all?
I don't know, so it'd have to be something fast, some kind of like speed thrash metal or something.
Dragon Force?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe
Anything
something.
else?
Well, I talked about night slashers last time. As far as like a monster game, that's like the most bang for your buck. As far as soundtracks, Sega Genesis had Lightning Force 4, and even in MIDI, 16-bit, that is a fucking metal soundtrack.
Yeah, that one was awesome. Another game that wasn't too metal, but it had a great metal soundtrack was the Mega Man series. I think especially the Mega Man X series.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
That was great. Did you have any others?
I mean, if I think about it, I'm sure there's loads of others. Remember Chikan, the Forever Man?
Yeah, I thought you were going to bring that up.
Yeah.
Chakin or Chekan
or
or something. Yeah, that game was real metal.
That game when I first bought it, I put it in. It starts with this like roaring growl.
Yeah.
And then like this music comes up. It's like these drums. It's like.
Yeah.
There's like these words come down. It's like tells you the story. This guy, he's like immortal. He has to travel through other dimensions and kill demons. I mean, nothing more metal than that.
Yeah. Demon's Crest too for SNES.
Yeah.
That one was real good. I never even heard of it until I started playing emulator shit.
Yeah, man.
Legacy of Kain Soul.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really metal, yeah.
That's like
That's a good one.
that's like some Amon Amarth or something. It has that very like ageless god, Celtic or not Celtic, but like Norse. Maybe. I don't know. What do you think?
Indeed, I agree.
Yes, I agree.
Indeed.
Totally agree.
Totally metal.
Is that it, guys? I think we covered a pretty good base there. Any runner-ups or anything like that, or?
That was pretty good. I got.
All right, cool.
No.
All right, cool. We're done. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bye.
Sayonara.
Actually, catch us on SoundCloud and iTunes at SuperHouse Podcast. Also, we're SuperHouse Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. And on YouTube, of course, because you found us. And that's it. Thanks for tuning in. We'll hopefully have more. I'm going to have more videos in Japan next week, so catch us then.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh.
Okay, we're gonna go into regular podcast mode now.
Oh yeah.
Do we want to keep our cameras on?
Mine's all jumpy as fuck.
If the audio
I like
quality
seeing
isn't
your guys'
dropping,
faces.
yeah.
The
I like
sound,
seeing your faces.
it might change the dynamic, I guess.
Right.
I think our sound is probably good.
Mhm.
All right.
I get distracted by seeing what I'm doing.
Oh, well, you can turn yours off if you want. Pansy. Hold on, I'm gonna copy Johnson's.
Stefan, are you just standing still holding your thumb up?
Have you seen that where you're like, then people think it froze on them?
Oh no.
You're like,
Oh.
All right. Oh Jesus. Okay, we're ready to go for this one now.
Yes.
Okay. All right, let's do it. Look at the notes, though. Hold up.
So it'll be Mag's Music, Sex Expedition.
Oh, you mean this album?
Yeah.
Nice.
nice.
Hold on, let me open a beer. I ran out of my second one.
I'm my third.
Lucky number 3, right here, Taiwan, baby.
I like how it's just called Taiwan beer.
I know, that's like... That's
Is
all,
it made in
fancy
Taiwan?
about
I don't know,
No,
maybe.
it's made in Iowa.
Yeah.
It says it's imported in South El Monte, California. Imported, it says.
What you drinking, Stefan? I can't. What does it say? Session?
Session lager?
Yeah.
What's it taste like?
It's pretty crisp and delicious. It's not too sweet. It's not
Johnson's
not hoppy.
gone.
It's
Where
very
did Johnson
refreshing.
go?
He's going to get a beer. That's what.
And you
he's
can.
just like,
I got 13 of these for $13. That's $1 a beer.
oh, math. I get it.
It's incredible.
No, it's a good deal. I'm there.
And look at the
This
little
Miller,
bottle.
This Miller Lite cost me more than $1.
For the record, it doesn't taste anything like Red Stripe. It looks like it's in like a Red Stripe bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact, I'm allergic to Red Stripe. It causes my throat to seize up.
Wowzers.
Why? What's in it?
So I
that
think
makes your
sometimes...
throat-
Huh?
What's in it that makes you allergic to
I
it?
don't know. I've only had Red Stripe twice in my life, and it made me... I had some kind of reaction to it. It wasn't like I'm choking to death or anything like that, but it was definitely hard to swallow. Eyes were fucked up.
Maddie, you still have that allergy to
The
fruit and
fruits?
shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks,
Oh, man.
dude.
Oh, man.
Well, it's like weird for me because I have celiac, so it's any gluten, which is any beer. So like, I can understand
damn.
being like allergic to all beer, but just like one specific brand is kind of weird.
It fucks me up. And then somebody saw me drinking one of these one time, and they're like, I'm going to go buy you a beer at the bar. And then they brought back a Red Stripe, and I didn't know.
Oof.
I drank it.
Then you nearly died.
And then
What is
nearly died. No. It's just
Johnson's
uncomfortable.
back.
Stefan almost died in this episode. What?
Living on the edge.
Hey, so I put the order for the introductions, by the way. Is everybody okay with this?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so hopefully we'll not fuck this up this time. Okay, let's do it. Are we ready?
So we're talking about Civil War now, right?
That's
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
be in
I'm
the
just
nerd
kidding.
news, yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Okay, let's
It's not
do
the
it.
first thing.
All right, I'm gonna start, guys. Here we go. Cool. Okay, welcome everybody to episode lucky number 13 of the SuperHouse podcast. Thanks for joining us this time. I'm Andrew, coming in from Los Angeles.
This is James coming in from Los Angeles.
It's Johnson coming in from Latvia. There you go.
Thank you.
This is Maddie, currently in Cincinnati.
And this is Stefan in Denver, Colorado.
All right. Awesome. So, if you remember last time, Yukiko had a cliffhanger thing, and guess what? You're still gonna have to be hanging on that cliff because she said it's gonna be a cool little surprise apparently, but I'm not really sure what exactly it's gonna be about. But yeah, we'll see how that goes, and we're actually gonna move right into Maddie's music. This time it's gonna be the band Code Orange, and the album is I Am King.
Oh, is it my turn? Okay.
All right, go ahead.
I think most of you know here that I am a big fan of Death Wish Records, and I had seen them on there, and I had ended up.
Johnson, you're being so fucking loud.
Oh, I guess I'm gonna move to the other room.
Fidgeting around, man.
Earthquake test.
Maddie, what were you saying?
I'm done. This is over. I can't do this. I can't work under.
Walk off. We had a walk off.
Let's
shit.
do it live. Wait. Okay.
Things are going off the rails.
Oh my
Anyway,
God.
Code Orange. They used to be called Code Orange Kids. They have an album before this one that is also equally as good. But I had heard about them and listened to them a little bit, and I was like, oh, that's pretty good. And then I was working at Half Price Books, and a guy came in with a trade and had this record in it, and I was like, this is like fucking fate or something. I have to pick this record up. And instantly just loved it. These kids look like they're like 12 years old, but they're probably actually like 20 to 22. And they make some great like hardcore / metal music. I mean, I just think the whole album's really great. I definitely felt like it kind of harkened back to like a lot of stuff I was listening to with you guys in like SuperHouse with like Comeback Kid and like Norma Jean and some of those other kind of like hardcore bands. But hearing it through like these like a new perspective of like these 20-somethings was pretty cool. I also loved the title track I Am King because I thought my record was skipping when it like starts and then stops and then it starts again and then it stops. I was like, what the fuck? I just bought this and it's not working. This is upsetting. But yeah, they actually just got signed to Roadrunner Records, so I think they have something coming out this year. So that'll be interesting to hear what they sound like on there. And also, side note, half the band is in another band that's kind of like an indie rock band called Adventures. So if you didn't dig this, but you want something a little more indie rock, check out that band. And what did you guys think?
Stefan, go ahead.
I only listened to it twice, and I love it. It's fucking incredible. This time I was listening to it right before the show, and I got to the track "My World," and it's just like it's like chunky as hell, and it like sludges along certain points, which I've gotten into a lot more lately, like the slower kind of grind, doomy kind of thing. But around surrounding those like really chunky moments, you have this like, I don't know, it's just like ripping fucking guitars and drums, and there's just like fiery rage in that dude's lyrics. I don't remember what track of the last one that I liked Dreams in Inertia a lot. Like after you get past, because when it first started, I was just like, this is so Maddie, and this is like so like a lot of that hardcore stuff. I ended up getting not so much into hardcore, but like I had an ear for it, like Blood Brothers and Converge and Norma Jean and stuff. But it first started like that, but then as it got more into it, and you could see how they let a lot of their influences kind of just flow. And like Maddie's saying, they're really young, so for our ears, it's like a hybrid of different styles. But I bet for their generation, they're just like, this shit fucking rips so hard. So I loved it. I'm gonna give it more listens for sure. The cover made me think it was like gonna be like a more punk on the punk side kind of album. But
yeah.
I like how they mixed up their hardcore elements, because it's like young kids who listen to good hardcore, not just like knockoff shit or like second or third generation. Like those kids who really have a good ear for it make it, but also probably listen to a bunch of great metal as well. It's fucking awesome.
Did you listen to it, Johnson?
No, I didn't get a chance.
All right, James.
I did listen to most of it. Unfortunately, I didn't like it as I did get to listen finally to Death Heaven. I actually enjoyed that a lot more.
Moving on.
Well, I think like listening to a bunch of these metal albums, like I've come to realize like I just don't really care too much about screaming in metal music as much. It depends on like how it is. But it's like, me personally, like I can understand like Death Heaven. I feel like it was just something about it where it sounded a lot better compared to this to me, and where if I can tend to hear more of the lyrics still, I'll enjoy it. Like I can understand it being like an extra instrument in the song rather than just having more lyrics. But personally for me, it's like, I still like enjoy stuff more like Mastodon, which they do that as well, but like not as much. And usually if it's used to accentuate a point in the song or anything, I can still really enjoy that. But personally for me, it's like if it's just going over the entire song, like I tend to like really enjoy the music, but yet like for me, sometimes it just like takes that away a lot of times.
So wait a second, James. You still like metal, though, right?
Oh yeah.
Can I say something to that? Can I say something to that?
Sure.
What was I going to say? I have just decided that that's a personal project of mine, James. Is to get you on an album with screaming that you personally
right. Like
love.
I said, it's like.
But what I wanted to say was
I'm okay with, but like.
Right.
I think also maybe I just was in the right mood to listen to it as well.
Yeah. I just wanted to say that for people listening, people who aren't really into metal, or because I try and sell people on metal all the time because I feel like I've gotten such great personal, just good shit from metal. Enjoyment. Like yes, like I felt like really deep levels of enjoyment. But anyway, so what I want to say to that is that it took me a little while and like certain bands to kind of ease me into that, but like now I'll listen to like some of the most cacophonous shit, but still like you start to gain an ear for some of that choppy screaming, because like I think to what you were saying, like most people think it's just like, well, I can't understand what they're saying because of the way they're saying it, but there are lyrics back there, and some listen to Black Dahlia Murder's first like 4 albums. That dude is a motherfucking poet. But you won't know unless, it like grows on you. So that's my pitch, and I'm selling it.
I believe this harkens back to Camera Noise episode 2. Am I incorrect in saying that?
No, I don't remember.
You guys actually talk about, like, not a song or a band, but you're talking about, like, metal in general and how people, like, how screaming can turn them off, so...
Well, it bugs me because I get it. Because I think it's just like there's a moment like that clicks off and you're just like, oh my god. And it's like it's something about the cadence in which it's spoken and the visceral part that you perceive that lyric in or whatever. But I'm gonna come up with some suggestions, James. I want you to we're gonna line them up and knock them down.
Yeah, definitely.
until you're just like, this fucking track rips. You know?
Yeah. Well, it's like,
anyway.
Yeah, I tend to like really like a lot older like 70s metal stuff too, like Iron Maiden, Black Sabbath, stuff like that.
Cool.
So.
See, this is yes.
It's gonna be okay. We're gonna get through this. It's gonna be okay.
And like I said, I did enjoy Death Heaven as well.
Yeah.
Finally, something.
Thank the Lord.
Don't be so hard on him, Maddie. That's the project.
No, it's all right. We'll get through it. I've not given up on James yet.
That's my boy. You're my boy, Blue.
Oh my god.
Andrew, what'd you think?
Yeah, I liked it. It kind of felt like you said, it was like hardcore kids that were like really branching out.
Yeah.
And the cover looks like it's from the 90s in a really good way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically more hardcore than metal in most of the album.
Definitely in the vocals.
And I gotta tell you, like, even though I'm not a tough guy at all myself, I do like that tough guy hardcore sound.
Yeah.
And it had that, so I did like that a lot. And what else can I say about it? Yeah, it was pretty good overall.
When I listened to this for like first time all the way through, probably like second or third time, I was like listening to it and I was like, oh shit, if we were in SuperHouse, I would run downstairs, burst into your room, Andrew, and be like, dude, you gotta hear this fucking record. Because like I feel like
love it.
Yeah, I just felt like it was a lot of stuff you'd like. I mean, like you introduced to me like Comeback Kid, and like I just felt like I had a lot of those same elements of those bands that like we were listening to at SuperHouse, and I thought it'd be a fun record to listen to for some of us. Yeah, it was just something that kind of just threw me off. I didn't know what to expect. I only listened to a few tracks, and then like hearing the album in its entirety and their previous record as well, I was just like, man, these kids get like that hardcore element, and I just thought it'd be fun to listen to. I didn't think James would hate it though, but you know.
It's cool too because they're not staying there, not staying in hardcore. It seems like if they keep playing, you said they're young, right?
Yeah,
they're going to be like branching out in a serious way.
Yeah. I'm interested to see what their Roadrunner Records debut will sound like. Like,
cool.
I'm kind of scared that it's on there, but at the same time, I feel like they probably wouldn't have made the move unless they had like a lot of creative control. Since Death Wish is pretty much known as like labeled, it's like do what you got to do. We signed you because you're doing what you're doing. So it'll be cool to see how they're treated on Roadrunner and like production value, and you know, I'm interested to see what happens. And also, I just want to say the song "Thinners of the Herd" is a great title for a song.
Thinners of the Herd.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
I like the oh my god, what was I gonna say? One thing no, I forgot.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
Something about Code Orange and metal and fucking.
It was I had something I was gonna say about the metal-y bits. They're so like well composed. Because like I said, I'm getting more into like the sludgier kind of sound and stuff like that, and I like really staccato rhythms when they're stretched out and just like bled for every little last ounce of fucking power that they have. But I was gonna say something about the cover art or something, the way like what you were saying.
How was
about
90s in a good way?
90s in a good way. Yeah, that was like the thing I first immediately, because it shaped a lot of what I thought the music was going to be about.
Yeah, me too.
And
yeah,
then,
exactly.
And it's like a fucking journey, because it just develops into like something much bigger. And Maddie's saying it's going to be on Roadrunner, so like they're going to have much more production on this next album. So it'll be cool to see them try and like stand up to, you know, albums that are, well, and the thing is like there's nothing really that similar that I could draw to think of like compare them to. They have a very like stripped down, very distinct sound. It's heavy on the vocals. They're very present.
Yeah.
And the guitars and the drums are mixed really close together, but the bass is kind of super low and super deep. So it just has like, it has that like real foreboding kind of feel to it. And the album art kind of makes it seem like, you know, and then the album's only like 32 minutes long. So I thought for sure it was going to be a lot quicker throughout and a little bit more hardcore, especially when I started to hear their voices. But the way it shifts so far is cool. And hopefully their next album, they expand, like you were saying, expand upon some of the ideas that they already have. This is their second album?
Yeah, this is their second one.
Oh, yeah. They're fucking awesome.
You should, yeah, I agree with you on the artwork. I love their like aesthetic for it, because it's definitely presents itself as like a hardcore kind of like 90s kind of group. But you should listen to their first Death Wish release, and then their side project, which features I think like 3 of the members from this band, called Adventures, because it is like one of the members in the band is she plays guitar, and she's a lady, and she sings in the other group. So it's very interesting to watch them do this kind of like do this hardcore thing slash with this metal stuff really well, and then watch them do this kind of like indie kind of pop group also that is equally as good.
Weird.
So these kids are kind of like all over the place, and they like have different people come into like the Adventures band, and like they have another member from for Code Orange. So it's kind of interesting. At least they're like trying different things and kind of just like, well, let's see what gets us to the top, or just like where we cannot have to worry about money and just make music all day. So
yeah,
definitely an interesting band. It'll be fun to watch them as they like get on Roadrunner, and then I think Adventures just had an album come out or is coming out or something. But it's definitely worth checking these kids out. I'm a fan, and we'll watch them as they grow.
Yeah, it was cool to have like a metal band that like had breakdowns and like some shit that I've been listening to for a long ass time. Like, because we've had, although I've liked a lot of it, but like it's been like kind of more experimental / Scandinavian type shit. So for me, I liked hearing this kind of sound again.
I did it for you, Andrew. I did it for you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. It definitely has that like bar fight kind of feel to it.
Yeah, I like that.
It's like raw in a way, because like a lot of the trends in metal, especially like the stuff that takes off. I'm a huge fan of Mastodon, but it's certainly something that you know, the catchier the riff, the more that song is going to stand distinctly against a whole album. So a lot of times I think another reason why metal is difficult to get into initially is because you got to kind of wait a little bit. You got to be patient for it to take shape, as opposed to it just being like riff and melody in the lyrics or in the singing or whatever.
I'm going to call back again. Sorry,
no, go ahead.
Interrupting you. I'm going to call back again to the Camera Noise episode. You guys mentioned that band Fallujah. I listened to them as well. I'm changing the subject a bit, but they're fucking awesome.
Yeah,
I really liked them.
Well, the way that they mix up genre is like those guys like play like jazz fusion in certain parts, and then they'll play like a folky baroque guitar in certain parts, and then there'll be the dude when he does his solos, they're straight up Japan metal. All I can think of is like fighter jets flying through the sky, fighting off aliens and shit. You know what I mean? It's just like the landscapes that band creates. The first time I found out about them was the album before this, the song Carved in Stone. It has everything you could possibly want in any metal song without going into like the land of corny or you know, going way too over the top with it. They just like, they're such good musicians, and when I first read about them, the dude was just like, these guys fucking just transform metal. And I was just like, whatever. And then I listened to it, and I was just like, damn, like I can't find anything else like that exactly. But that's why metal right now is so great, because you could have so many bands that are like because style doesn't mean anything more anymore. It's just like what you do with it. And anyway, Fallujah fucking kills.
Yeah, I'm not like a huge Dream Theater fan. I did like Tool, of course, but and I like Yes, kind of. But it seems like I don't know. Other than like maybe 2 or 3 bands, I'm not a huge prog rock guy. But I thought they were fucking great, and I would like to see what else.
Well, that's the
do
thing
in
is
the future.
is the way. Sorry, the way that the way that they use those conventions of each different type of genre that they might be pulling from is so consistent throughout. It all flows so well together that they stay in their own sound. They don't ever really like jump out to like, oh, this is our prog rocky part and then this is our fucking death metal part. It's just like a consistent flow throughout, you know, and I think that's what makes them kind of stand out against any bands that may be similar, like bands you referenced.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just kind of like, just when it starts to get really proggy, it fucking becomes doomy, and then, you know, just when it's too doomy, it becomes fucking black metal, and they just kind of float around and all these. They're just fucking such like versatile musicians. And then the one guy will be doing like some jazz all of a sudden. It's unbelievable.
Can you give me a couple of references to what J metal's supposed to sound like, or some band names or something?
Dang, the one thing. Well, yeah, baby metal is one, and that's like kind of newer what's coming out. But the one thing that that comes to mind the most is the video game Blaze Blue.
Yeah.
Their soundtracks, they featured like J metal artists through like all these different styles of J metal, and so it just has this like, there's something about it that's just like I said, like fighter jets. It's technological in some way. It's like an organic process that they come about making, like the guitar solos or just the flow of any J metal song.
It's kind of uplifting, right?
It's very like triumphant and science fiction-y, you know. And so that's I mean, that's the best way I could describe it. And that tends to come up in bands like it's like a Joe Satriani thing, you know. It's like it's still like blues derived,
surfing with the alien,
you know, kind of the American style guitar, but it's reinterpreted through what I perceive as being like a J metal sound. And the best way to describe this sound, for a listener, is check out the band Melt Banana.
Yeah, well, they're so weird.
Well, they're all over the place, and their music is completely abstract. But what they've done basically is broke down the sound of that J metal type of song, and they've stripped it down to just its mere components and made it just textural. So, just if you're willing to go that deep, Melt Banana.
We actually saw them in Savannah. Was anybody with me that day?
Well, we went to Jacksonville, didn't we?
No, they were in Savannah, and like no one knew who they were. And then like a few months later, they were on the Adult Swim, like they were being featured on Adult Swim.
Who, Mastodon?
Well, they played a lot too. Melt Banana.
Melt Banana.
Melt Banana. That was like one of their first shows in America. Was in fucking Savannah. And I remember Mastodon played before anybody knew who the fuck they were, and Baroness and Kylesa played every fucking weekend.
Darkest Hour
Dude, played a lot. Like that scene was nuts.
Don't say like Baroness and Kylesa like it's a bad thing. I saw your eyes roll.
No.
Kylesa just broke up, so.
Oh, did they? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Circle takes the square. That Savannah scene was like at the forefront, man.
Dude, I at work at Half Price, I was like going through CDs, and everyone's like, "Oh, this is my trash pile," and I was like throwing stuff away and just trying to pick up like some random like Smashing Pumpkins shit that was in there, and I was like, "Oh, cool, I'll take that." And I pick up one, and I was like, "Circle takes the square. Who the fuck threw this away?"
Who would do that shit?
And everyone's like, "Who's that?" And I was like, "Fuck all y'all."
Fuck you, bitches. I went to school with these.
You don't know my story.
You don't know me. I'm actually gonna go see Baroness on Tuesday.
Fuck yeah, dude. Purple's a great album. There's like you can't. For me, it's just like that album is Purple is ahead of its time somehow. I've listened to a few times.
I also think Yellow and Green is really good.
Yellow and Green's amazing, dude. Those guys have not made a bad album.
A lot of people.
There are pures.
Peelers.
Sorry, I was trying to swallow at the same time.
a lot of
Oh
people,
Lord.
a lot of people were like, "Yellow and green sucks. It's not like red or blue." And I was like, I don't know, man. And I didn't like Yellow and Green when I first heard it, but I was like, there's something in here. I need to listen to it more. So I listened to it more.
That sound has
Man, it's
evolved
such a good fucking record.
into Purple. Like Purple is just a great rock and roll album. It's like the
It's so good.
all American rock and roll album.
It's what you do after you almost died in a car crash.
Dude,
falling off a
exactly.
cliff.
These motherfuckers, Baroness. Anyway.
It's crazy how that area in Savannah, like that was
Dude,
like
they stayed at my apartment one time.
they
Sorry.
echoed
Oh,
they
shit.
like ushered in like a new form of metal basically with those bands.
It's definitely like Mastodon, Kylesa, and Baroness have that like that
all those
southern
Georgia bands.
sludge. Yeah, like that southern sludge, man.
Dude.
They just got it.
Exactly. All right, you guys.
Should we listen to Baroness's Purple? Is that the next one?
I mean, Maddie, this is your section,
I'm
so.
down.
All right, let's do it. Baroness's
great
Purple.
idea.
I mentioned
All right.
Cool.
what James thinks about this record, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I've listened to some of Baroness. I've enjoyed them.
Cool. Finally, thank God. All right.
Yeah, far be
Alright.
it for me to not like one thing.
No, you gotta like everything, James.
This man can't like something, Maddie. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, basically. We're done. We're done with the music. We're done with the music section. Let's move on to Sexpedition.
Oh shit! I think Maddie just ushered that bitch in. So here we go. Let's get started.
Sorry, I took that from you, Andrew, but I had to.
No, definitely. You guys can take on any time. So Johnson's like a deer in headlights. So Johnson, you plugged this a couple times before, and even in the most recent episode. But we wanted to hear a little bit more about that time you went searching for Russian hookers in Busan, Korea. We have to hear this.
You had to hear. Oh, okay. Sorry, I had some mock-ups that need to go out like now.
Set the stage for us, Johnson.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Russian prostitutes. Hold on, I gotta collect my thoughts.
You're in Korea with who?
Okay, so I was with another friend, not my usual sleigh buddy, but another dude that sometimes, we would go out and do stuff. So Busan is the second biggest city in Korea, and it's in the south. So we'd heard stories that right outside the main train station, there was like this red light district. Literally just right behind it. There was like a row of buildings, and then right behind it, like just prostitutes at the wazoo. But we heard they were mostly Russian prostitutes, because apparently Russian mob operates down there, so they bring them in. So me and a friend, we were doing a trip to Busan, and I'd mentioned it, like, hey, I heard blah blah blah, and he's like, well, we should check it out. Let's check it out. I was like, okay, cool, yeah. So, so of course there's a lot of like love motels in that area. So we got one just because we needed a place to stay nearby, and so we just started, going around, walking around, and like immediately it's pretty apparent that. Yeah, this is definitely happening in this area. By the way, this area right behind this row of buildings, it was like a Chinatown / Russia town. So like you'd walk there, you see Chinese writing, you see Russian writing, stuff like that.
Like Blade Runner.
So, yeah, well, I mean that's what Korea is. Korea looks like Blade Runner. So we got the place. So then we go perusing around. And we're just kind of walking around, and we look in the bars, and you see like these girls sitting at the bars, and it's like some really attractive girls. But I know what the deal is there. Like the deal is, you go there, you don't outright pay for sex. You buy them expensive shots. So you buy them a whiskey shot that's like $20. So you buy them like 4 of that, and that like equals something. But if you take them back to your room, you pay a flat rate, whatever. So we didn't want to get pressured into anything right away, so we were just kind of walking around, looking around. This one woman that came up and approached us, and she was like, broken English, like, "Hey, how you doing tonight?" Blah 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 blah. And then immediately she was like, "So you want to make fuck?" And we both look at each other and we were like, no, no, thanks. Her face is just like stone face. She turns immediately around and walks away.
Okay.
She's there for the cash, man.
She didn't want to waste a single second on us fucking perusers, So we keep walking around.
We're just
and
looking right now. Excuse
yeah.
us.
So we're just looking, and so we come around this corner to this one place that was like open. It was like an open bar, and there were these two like older ladies, and they kind of like pull us in, and we were like, "Oh, okay, sure, yeah, we'll have a beer." We thought like maybe it was just a bar, maybe they were the madams, I don't know. But then they start kind of insinuating that they were the prostitutes, and these women were like 50 or something, like old Russian ladies. So we were like, "Oh no, we got to get out of here right now. This is not what we're in for." So that part was like really awkward. We had to like just get the hell out of there right away. So then we're kind of walking around. Then we're like, okay, we just want to drink. We just want to go to a regular fucking bar. So we find one where, it didn't look like there were a bunch of prostitutes in there. There was just like guys or whatever. So we sit down and have a drink, and there's this Russian dude. He keeps talking to us like in Russian, just like blah 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 blah, and then like
That's
looking
Russian,
at us.
by the way. That's Russian.
Yeah, and he's just like looking at us, waiting for a response, and we're just like, I don't speak Russian. Okay. And then he's like, blah, 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 blah. And then he'll say every once in a while he'll say something we can understand. He's like, blah, 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 whiskey, yeah, whiskey. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, yeah, I like whiskey. Oh, Jack Daniels. Like, okay, yeah, cool, yeah. But this guy just kept on, and he was so fucking drunk, man. Like, but he just kept speaking to us like in full Russian, and he was drunk out of his mind. We left soon after. We go back to our hotel, and we're going up to the room, and I see this woman rocking down the stairs, and it's like the hottest fucking chick I've ever seen in my life. Just like coming down the stairs. Like obviously she'd finished up with someone, and she walked by, and we were both just like, damn, how can we find that girl?
Wait, let's put a pin in that real quick. You just said that it looked like she had just finished with someone, so you were pretty sure she just fucks a dude?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Her hair was like all frazzly and shit. How did you deduce this?
I mean, she's obviously a prostitute coming out of... No, she's obviously a prostitute coming down the stairs from a hotel room. I mean, like, come on.
Okay, I got it. Okay, continue. I'm sorry.
So
but at that point, we were kind of over it. We were tired, so we just went to bed. I later banged some Canadian chick.
There it is, the gold. It's what I wanted.
Johnson, you always deliver. Wait, so I'm sorry, but you now have to go into detail about that one.
Oh, okay.
Because currently this story has not. There's no one has had sex yet.
Oh, I told you this one was a letdown. I told you that.
Yeah.
Well, let's. What happens with this Canadian chick?
I thought you were teasing me. I thought there was a tease. I thought it was a tease.
Okay. Well, this was like the next night, Saturday night.
At least you didn't pay for it.
No, totally.
Yeah.
We met one of his friends. We went around because this other guy knew the place. He knew the cool bars to go to. So we eventually went to this one bar. What are you doing, Andrew?
I don't know. I'm sorry. Continue.
I don't know. There's not much to it. We were sitting on one side of the bar. It was a big like island. There's like the bar in the middle, and everybody's sitting around it, like big thing.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there. My friend's talking to some girl. There's some British guy next to me. I'm talking to him, and I see this chick walk in, like really hot, tall brunette, and she like caught my eye for a second. I was just like, oh damn. He's like, what? I was like, oh, that chick. He was like, hold on a minute. So he ran over. This guy went over and talked to her for me, brought her over, And we were both pretty much drunk, so like we just started to she was totally cool. We started talking, and then started making out in the bar, and then I left my friend.
Ooh, more, give me more.
I totally left my friend in the wind. We didn't have like a hotel room or anything, so he was on his own. But yeah, I went back to her place.
Did the deed. Wait, so I want to know. I always have to know what she looked like. She was brunette, you said?
Yeah, tall brunette, like really blue eyes. Nice, like a hot girl. Like, if I had to display everyone I've slept with, she would definitely be in like the pantheon, not just the Hall of Fame.
So Johnson, I have a question.
Yeah.
All right. So, how many Canadians have you slept with?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, exactly.
While in Europe, like not in America, but just
Europe or Asia, right?
Yeah. Well, in Europe, both times I was with chicks. Like the first time I did my 2-month trip in Europe, I was with Crazy Face, and now I'm with my girl now. But in Asia, dude, seriously, I don't even know. I lost count.
Oh shit! All right, well that's
Canada.
A good answer.
Sounds like you should go to Canada.
Yeah, seriously, you're hooking up, man.
Dude, Canadian girls are they're open to that sort of thing. They're
So how fit was she? I want to know like what's the body type here? She's pretty fit.
She was like slim, nice build.
Was she French Canadian or regular Canadian?
Just regular Canadian.
Johnson didn't have time for that bullshit.
I want to know if she had an accent or not.
No, just normal North American accent.
Okay. I think I got enough details for now. Thank you.
I'll be good for later tonight. Thank you.
Yeah. Whoa, that's Maddie's agenda revealed.
So I think the one I should plug for next time, me and Crazy Face, we would like bang in public places just because.
What? Yes, I need this.
Hold on. It was so easy with her. She was so like competitive. All I had to do was just be like, I bet you wouldn't have sex with me in that bathroom, and she'd be like, watch me.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah. So when we were in Europe, when we were in Greece.
Another story? What?
Yeah, well, this is the plot.
It's a 3-parter today, everybody.
Okay, hold on. Let me tell you. We banged at the ruins near the Acropolis.
Oh, shit.
We banged on some, 1,000-year-old columns.
That's some ancient-ass sex.
I'm sure your ancestors are proud.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
So that'll be
my ancestors are proud for you.
Oh, yeah. Do you have Greek in you?
No, I don't. It's all Irish. Come on, man. My last name's Fitzgerald. That's it.
Yeah, dude.
I got nothing, dude. That's it.
Hey, Irish. You lucky?
Johnson, I will say that I did this girl I was working with in Chicago. I was with a friend and we went out. She's like, "Oh, you should come to this karaoke bar." And I was like, "All right, cool, whatever, fuck it, I'll go," because I've been drinking. And she was just like, she grabbed me and started making out with me, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I don't know, because I'm like your boss, and that's fucking weird, but I'm drunk."
Maddie, that's your first mistake, no doubt.
What? No. Dude, it was fine, but.
Learn from the master.
When we were, she was like, "Hey, let's go back to my place." I was like, "All right, cool, let's go." So we were walking back, and she's like, "Dude, I just gotta suck your dick right now." And I was like, "We're out again." We were just walking on the fucking streets of Chicago, and she just got down on her knees and fucking undid my pants and fucking started going, man.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question real quick. Did you get down upon bended knee at that point and propose to this woman.
Oh, dude. Whoa. I thought this was a SuperHouse podcast. No big my friend.
I think it's a pretty
Maddie,
SuperHouse
when you say
move
you're
to
on the
propose
street-
to a chick that just said, "Let me suck your dick" out of nowhere.
Yeah,
well,
Maddie, when you're on the street, what do you gotta clarify? What do you mean street?
oh, dude, it was like fucking houses around. We were actually under a lamplight, and I said, maybe we should do this somewhere else. But then it just started. And I was like, all right, fuck it.
Wow, did you get some?
And then
rehab?
it was so after that, like, I was like, I had to stop her because I was like, listen, we need to go back to your place. Because, no. I was just like, I can't come here. Right?
I can't show my dick to all these people.
No, I don't
That's the
care.
real issue, isn't it?
I don't care about that necessarily. It's just like,
okay.
I was just like, I mean, people can see it, whatever. I don't care if it's tiny. Shut up.
It's getting sucked, isn't it?
Yeah, right? It's just one of those things where it's like, I was like, we'll take it back to your house.
Did you come on the street?
No, I didn't. I waited till we got back to her place.
Oh my god. So you got a little sucked on the middle of the street, and then you were like, I can't finish here, and then you went to your apartment? Is that basically what happened?
So when
Happy
you're
Mother's
drunk,
Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Love my mother.
Maddie, other than the hesitation, perfect score.
Dude,
Perfect score from Johnson, the master.
it was a good time. I also had another. This is going back to our college days. I had the roommate I had when I first went to college. He had been like he'd bring this girl over and be like, oh, and I don't know her real name, but her nickname was Mouse, and I was like, okay, well, whatever, cool. And he was really into her, and I was like, oh, that's cool, man. Like, she's okay. Like, I'm not super into it. So years progress, and we're all it was him and her, and they were like, hey, do you want to go to the Jinx? So I was like, sure, whatever, let's go. To clarify for the listeners, the Jinx was you could get in there under 21, drink like a motherfucker, listen to some great dance music, and end up probably making out with several chicks, maybe going home with one.
Wait, Maddie, we used to go there all the time on that 80s dance night or some shit, right?
Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It was
We would
great.
hit on every girl there and get rejected by basically every one of them.
Well, I went with my roommate. My old roommate was driving. I was sitting in the back, and she was in the passenger seat, and she reached her hand around like on the door side and like started like tickling my leg, and I was like, this is weird. What's happening? And I was like, why would you do this as people? Like, oh, maybe she's into me. I don't know. I'm really bad at this, and I'm drunk. So anyway, we're dancing, and she's older, and she's like buying drinks and just pouring them down me at this point. And I was like, I'm so drunk. I don't need any more. And she's like, she kissed me, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. All right, I'm down. Let's do. What are we gonna do? And then she whispered in my ear, I need to suck you off right now. And then we went to his car, got his keys, went into them, and I got a blowjob. It was wonderful.
Nice.
So wait, this is two different women that have offered you blowjobs just out of fucking nowhere?
I don't know what I do. I just don't know. I will tell you, though, in Cincinnati, nothing's happening.
Wow. Wait, I gotta ask, so what are the women like in Cincinnati?
Dude, I don't know. I don't go out. Fuck that shit.
That's some sad ass shit.
I mean,
Have you Tindered?
So this is my Tinder experience so far. I'll talk and be like, hey, what's it like? One thing I hate about Tinder is girls that like, I'll be like, oh, you're cute, and I'll like, and then I'll like, they'll like me back, and I'll go and read, and they're like, hey, just don't say hey to me, and I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to say? Like, who are we, like, fucking best friends? Like, how else do you start a conversation? Like, if I Like, if Andrew, if I come to visit in LA and you're like, hey, this is my girlfriend, whatever her fucking name is, I don't know, because you haven't introduced her yet. But I will say, hi, I'm Maddie. Yeah. What the fuck? Like,
That's
what do
enough.
you mean? Don't say hi.
I think that the girl wants you to be like, hey, nice eyes or nice hair. They want you to say some shit like that.
Clever new intro that they've never heard before. That's what they want.
They would like you to renounce, or what do you call it? Say a soliloquy to them right off the bat.
You know what's the worst? It's like Andrew, me and you talked about it. You know the girls that are like, if you're not, 6'1", don't contact me.
And that girl's like,
I want to be like.
That girl's like 4'3", by the way.
Yeah, right.
A lot of girls have like you can't just be taller than them. You got to be like a full 2 feet taller than them. It's like, what the fuck kind of standard is that?
I'd be like, don't contact me unless you got like double D's or something.
Oh yeah, okay. Johnson and I have had this conversation. Let me clear this up real quick.
Yeah.
So when I used to search OkCupid like every fucking 5 hours of the day or more, there would be a lot of girls. There would be more girls than you could imagine that would say must be 5'11" or taller. I'm 5'11", so it's like whatever. But
you short motherfucker.
Yeah, but I wanted to say, like, even so they said shit like that. Some of them would say, like, must be 6'1" and over, or shit like that. Or, like, I like to wear heels. And it's just like, I wanted to say must be 34D or higher. Can I say some shit like that?
Yeah, that's the other thing they would do. They would say, like, I'm 5'8" and I like to wear heels. So that was their imply that...
You got a height requirement, I have a chest requirement.
Yeah. Or a booty requirement, or a put-out requirement.
Put-out requirement.
What's your put-out rate?
First 3 hours or first 2 hours?
Hey.
Oh my god.
Stefan's gone.
Stefan has some dog problem. All right. Yeah, I mean, shit. That's probably slightly sexist, but shit. It's some shit I felt at the time.
It's a jungle. Tinder's a fucking jungle. You gotta fucking play to win.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't got time for that shit, man. It's just, I get on there and it's just, I don't know. I'll talk to girls and they're like, I don't know.
The dating scene right now is fucking horrific, and I'm glad I'm no part of it right now.
It's completely a meat market.
Dude, I just like moving to Cincinnati for the job currently.
Yeah.
I just like there's no like, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are urges where I'm like, fuck, I should go out tonight, like fucking out. But it's like, for the most part, I have to like rein myself in. It's like, oh god, what would keep me here? And I'm like, oh shit, Thor's on TV. Okay, I'll watch Thor.
Yeah, exactly.
For the most part, like, cause I don't want to stay here more than a year. So it just kind of like, I've like got on Tinder, I got on OkCupid, and I was talking to this girl, and she was like 35 or something. I was like, all right, cool, and we chatted for a while, and then she just was gone, and I was like, fuck it, I'm out of internet dating. Could not give a shit.
You got
ghosted, bro. Maddie, you can't get invested in one. You gotta have like 10 going at once.
I mean, there are always multiples. But like this one, I was like, oh, she seems cool. Like, she was just like, oh, like I like Wet Hot American Summer, and I was like, well, that's cool. You like good comedy, so I'm down.
Maddie,
but
what you have to do? Fuck OkCupid. Fuck all those dating site things. Like, women are
I'm
not.
done. It's over.
Women are not crackers out of a vending machine. You know what I mean? Like, just go
That's
out.
Racist.
The best advice I ever got. The best advice I ever got was my manager at Jimmy John's in Chicago. I was like, man, I don't know what to do when I'm out with these girls. Like, what should I do? I want to have more sex. That dude's like, you want to have more sex? Go out and drink. Drink a lot more.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, absolutely.
Your standards will lower like crazy.
Well, think about it. You guys were talking about 80s dance night. Why the fuck do you think those girls are at 80s dance night? Aside from the music, which is great, obviously, but You're out, you're drinking, everybody's dancing. It's the fucking mating ritual.
Wait, are you saying that
Go
they're
dancing.
there to? Are you saying
Go
that they're
dancing.
there to? Are you saying that they're there to fuck?
Oh
my
god! I'm saying that that's the ritual that we all abide by, and it's clear cut. You don't need no fucking like new surprises, because women that want new surprises every fucking time are bored, and if they're bored, then they're probably boring.
Dude,
I never get bored.
That's some deep ass shit, bro. But I think you're right.
Also, the other thing is being able to stay out late.
Maddie, I'm coming to Cincinnati.
You gotta stay
I'm coming to Cincinnati. I know a couple chicks from Cincinnati. They're great.
What?
Ohio's great.
What?
Ohio is great.
Give me a fucking number, man. Jesus Christ.
Stay tuned for the next section where Sexpedition's going to involve Santa Cruz and Fitzgerald going across Cincinnati, and
we're going to Cincinnati.
We'll film that shit, man. It'll be great.
And get on our YouTube at youtube.com/SuperHousePodcast.
Yeah,
we gotta get. What we gotta. What we have to do.
Shared a story on this, and Maddie.
What we have to do is get. What we have to do is get those glasses. What we have to do is get those glasses that have a camera in them.
Is my mic on?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay. Maddie, thank you for sharing your story. I'm glad somebody else did.
I just, it was very reminiscent of what you were talking about, and I was just like, you know what? Let's just let the cards, all the cards lay out. It's time.
Fall where they may.
That's all I have, though. So
the name was changed from Johnson's Journeys to Sexpedition, so it could be any of us.
I mean, I only care
it's
about.
It's like a Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego episode.
Yeah, exactly.
I only care about the exotic shit.
Yeah.
So you want to hear about Johnson?
I don't care
One
about...
time I fucked a mermaid.
Oh, dude, tell me about it.
They sing a sweet song.
Oh, if you want exotic, yeah, I could talk about the South African girl and talk about
what? That's some new shit to me as well.
Oh yeah,
Johnson, slow the fuck down. Save that shit for next time.
Oh my god,
I don't know if I can handle it.
He's already got so much in the spank bank for tonight already. Anyway.
Yeah, I need.
She was a yoga instructor, by the way.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
Oh my god.
You just said South African and yoga instructor?
Yeah.
Johnson, you haven't even confided into me about this before.
I thought I told you.
No,
Johnson, I would have remembered that.
Podcast, because I need to know.
Definitely, I told someone about my first black chick. Come on.
Oh shit, she was black as well?
That's what I'm talking about, yeah. Maybe she was mixed, I don't know.
Maybe you told it to one of your new friends, one of your European friends, but your American friends are over here not knowing shit.
Maddie has to masturbate, okay? And you're not letting him do that.
It's so lonely in Ohio.
Jeez, it's all your fucking fault. Oh my god.
You're all I have, Johnson.
This shit's...
That's it. That's all I have.
Let me ask you, do you ever go through Facebook and you play that game like Who Did I Bang in My Feed? You like scroll down, you're like, oh yeah, I banged her, that's right.
Yeah, actually, yes.
I'm not friends with them.
Oh my god. You never stayed friends, huh?
Someone will add me from time to time, and I'll be like, who are you? And then
they do it after the fact?
Yeah, and I'll just be like, who is this? Why do I know you as people?
I usually get friended that night. Come on.
Dude, I mean, Johnson, you're running a game that I'm not running right now. So
it's that good Johnson dick.
Yeah.
No, well, it's also like
that motherfucker must be so big.
It is like Stefan said. It's like you got to be able to drink, but you also have to be able to drink late. That's the other thing you don't get in the States.
No, the key is he's right. He's right.
No, absolutely.
But also, what goes with that? What goes with that is you got to get him out before midnight. Midnight is the key.
No.
It's like Cinderella's ball.
In the States. Yeah, in the States. Right,
No,
right.
yeah.
No,
because if they're there
No, you
past
go home at, like,
midnight,
5.
they're fucking hanging out and they're getting
5.
way more
You
fucked
go
up, and then
home.
anything goes.
Okay, but where I was, it's like 4 or 5. You take them home. You get started at like 12.
Well, Johnson, that's because you live in fucking the coolest place fucking ever. So
Well, everywhere else in the world, like bars don't close; they stay open all night. Here,
Yeah,
they
well,
stay
some
open
of
all
us
night.
live in Ohio, so shut up.
Well, even in LA, man. it
Hey,
was like,
hey, Maddie,
I
you
don't
still
live
got
in LA.
Maddie, you still got the 2 a.m.
I got 2 a.m. and then it's over, man.
I know
That's
it's terrible.
you have like 5 hours still, 4 hours.
Well, I'm sitting here talking with a bunch of fucking dudes right now, so I mean, what the fuck?
Wait.
I'm going out after this.
I gotta
Oh, shit.
clarify that. If you got 4 hours, if you get started at 8, but you got to start sobering up around like.
No.
No, I'm thinking 12. Like
Just
if you
don't
start
do shots until it's crucial. Shots for
start
the
at
girl
10.
the cutest.
Then you got to start sobering up around like 1 or 12. at least.
Beer and water. Every other beer.
Guys,
Well, I'm
water.
talking about if you're driving.
dude,
you gotta-
I'm just gonna say,
Johnson, we gotta go to Ohio.
Why? What's in Ohio?
'Cause we're gonna fucking blow that. All right, we're gonna blow
me,
that
you
place
son
apart.
of a bitch.
Oh yeah. Wait. But when do bars close?
Probably like 2 a.m.
That's plenty
That
of time.
sucks, man.
That's
That's
plenty
terrible.
of time. That's plenty of time.
I don't know about you guys,
What are you
but
spending the
tonight I
entire
have,
day at the bar trying to pick up chicks?
No,
All you
the
need
night-
is an
you spend
hour.
the night there.
I don't know
All
about
you
you
need is
guys,
a
but
knife.
I just DVR'd Thor: The Dark World, so I'm gonna be watching that. So.
I feel the same way. I think when we were in SuperHouse and like all through your 20s, it's like I'm gonna go out like pretty late and Johnson all fucking night and try to get
Right.
laid. And now it's
Of
like
course, if you're fucking,
I'm gonna-
out
I'm
all
gonna-
night, like
there-
something's bound to happen at 5 a.m.
yeah, like now it's
That's
like
not
Yeah,
true.
that's what- right.
there's a
Yeah.
lot of Silicon Valley I have to binge, so I guess I'm staying in.
But that's the thing. You have to filter out all the people who have no intention of hooking up anyways. They filter out around like
That's
2,
that's
3.
that's the 100 no's, 1 yes theory.
Well, that's what hooking up is. It's a numbers game, man. You don't go there and focus on one girl.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You guys act like it's fucking rocket science.
Wait, Johnson, it's I feel like you have like a very like you have a method to this and you've been kind of successful, it seems like. So
Yeah.
what exactly is what you have like a timeline. Can you please tell us your timeline?
Okay, first of all, you want to go with some buddies because you want to look like you're having a good time with your buddies because girls are attracted to that, right?
Yeah.
To buddies.
So that's one thing. So, well, I mean, on a Korean timeline, we would probably get out there 10. We would probably eat a late dinner, drink at dinner, then we'd we'd go to the park where you meet people. It's like a cool little casual hangout. Like, so you drink there too. So you don't even go to a club until like 12 or something. So then you do that, and then it's just like meeting pockets of people. So you go around, meet pockets of people, and then you go back with your buds and you're having a good time. You guys are laughing out loud, everybody can see you're having a great time, and then you see the girls who are like filtering out, and then the ones who remain, the ones you keep talking to, those are the ones you start paying more attention to. You also, keep an eye on who's looking at you, who's paying you mind, who's asking you questions, stuff like that.
And that's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh yeah, also avoid the ones that have that one girl who's gonna take them all home, the hen mother who's gonna like, we gotta go home, I'm tired. And then they're like the fat friend that takes all her hot friends away. Oh, sorry, you're fucking... But,
No, keep going.
Well, there's always that one girl that shitty girl that nobody's hitting on, and she's friends with them, and like nobody's paying attention to her, so she's like, I want to go home. Are you gonna make me take a taxi home by myself?
Oh my
You should
God.
come with me. So you gotta avoid that.
You're
Because-
saying
Is that
that
who
one
you hit
girl.
Yeah, one girl can pull away like a group of 4 or 5.
That's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I've seen it. I've seen
Yeah.
it.
I done synced it.
Yeah. So
Oh
you gotta
my
avoid
God.
that shit. Yeah, watch for the girl who wants to stay out late on her own. That's the
Okay.
one that's gonna go home with somebody.
She's super horny.
Yeah,
All right.
she's playing to win.
Or she doesn't care if she loses.
Sure.
A little
However
bit.
you look at it.
Depends on how you look at it.
The look of desperation.
Hey, it's 21st century. Girls want to hook up too, man.
Oh, I know. I agree, Johnson. If we keep calling them sluts, they're never gonna fuck us. You have to remember that. We have to be progressive.
Sure.
Progressive is the way. All right, I'm ready to move on to the next section if you guys are, but I gotta fucking pee real quick. I'm gonna leave my door open just so you guys can listen.
Shit!
All right.
Hold on.
I'm gonna get some
Pete.
more drinks.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I've peed like twice, so.
Oh, I see the sun peeking up. I gotta head soon, guys.
All right, I'll be right back.
Well, Johnson, I will say I'm glad I participated in this expedition.
Oh yeah, no, I'm glad. I like it when everybody gets involved. It's good.
I feel like there's going to be some people who follow me that are interested in me that will listen to that and go, oh, well, it's over now. That's fine.
Maddie, you got a way. You got a way with women. You've always got the cutest fucking chicks in Chicago.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
They were always like the girls I always got were like, they were hot-ish. They were hot, but they weren't like as interesting. You had like the both package. You had the hot and the fucking interesting. They always liked movies and like could talk forever about movies and shit. I always go after just like the, like the one I got my eye on or whatever.
Well, are you looking for girlfriends or are you looking for hookups? That's the other thing.
I'm not ever really just looking for anything. I'm just there. I'm drinking.
Okay. If you're looking for hookups, personalities.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right. It's,
My
Second
recent
personality is everything.
my recent like game or whatever has been, oh hey, what's up? You're a lesbian. I don't care about you.
Yeah, that's the bullshit you get in
And-
America, for real.
And so I just go about it like that, and it's like the long con or some shit. Like I'll just be like, oh, that girl's totally not
I don't got
interested in
patience
me.
for that shit.
And then one day she'll be like, oh hey, what are you doing
Fuck
tonight?
that.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm just gonna like, what are you doing? And she'll be like, hey, let's go do this. And I'll be like, all right. And then we'll go do that. And she's like, oh, we're gonna do some shit tonight. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So
I look
don't know.
out for the
The
Maddie.
other thing I noticed women respond to, like, don't hesitate, don't do any like PC bullshit. Be brash, be just fucking brazen, just say
Maddie.
outrageous shit. They love
Maddie, Maddie,
What?
you know what I'm
What do you
looking
want?
for? You know what I'm looking for when I go out? You know what I'm looking for when I go out with the girls? The girl who is playing the least amount of games. She's the best one to be around, and probably the coolest, and probably the hottest too. Because most dudes don't go up to the hottest fucking chicks because they're afraid to talk to them. But generally, they'll give you that look, man, and that's when you know.
I was out at a bar and it's called 16-bit. It's like an arcade bar here. It's really cool. And they have like specials. And I was like sitting at the bar by myself, and this girl was having this conversation with this guy, and she was like, they were talking about music and what they're into, and she was like, yeah, I like some Metallica, and the guy was like, and he just named like really popular Metallica songs, and then I heard her say, oh, I was thinking like Master of Puppets, Kill 'Em All, and I was like, why the fuck aren't you talking to me? But I just kind of looked at that conversation, and I was like, all right, if you want to go home with that dude, that's
Maddie, why didn't you go interject yourself into that? You
I
should have
didn't
gone.
Listen, I don't have time for that bullshit.
Why not?
Because I had to get home because I was drunk. So.
Oh.
And the one thing about living in like Louisville and then now Cincinnati is if you drive your car out, I need to take it home. So, because I have not jumped on the Uber train yet because I don't want to spend that fucking money. But it's I don't know, man. I just like started laughing out loud. I was so drunk. I was just like, "That's fucking ridiculous, dude. Like, who are you?" I just like looked at him and laughed at his face, and just I left. So, but yeah, Cincinnati sucks. So don't come here.
Oh my god. What a recommendation we got.
Dude, it's terrible, man. I definitely want to get the fuck out of like this section of America for sure.
Wow. All right. You'll come
Do
to
it.
LA at least at some
Do
point.
that shit.
Yeah, I will say though that like it's a weird thing when you work at like a clothing store with like reasonable fashion and prices. The women that walk in there, I like constantly like, oh my god, where did you come from? But I don't know how to talk to you because I'm working right now, and that's weird, right? Should I just like, but I want to say something.
You're beautiful.
Not that.
Where'd you come from?
Dude, not that.
Did it hurt?
When you fell from heaven?
You got big titties.
Andrew, that's my go-to, but...
That's also Johnson's go-to, so there you go.
Wait, what?
This is Johnson's go-to, like, you got nice titties, can I suck them?
Never used the line ever.
Next time out, I will use that line and see where it gets me. And then we'll report back to the SuperHouse podcast how that went.
Yeah, so we part of Sexpedition.
Maybe we should do a live video because there might be a black eye.
You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
You'll be surprised what certain women do respond to. Sometimes
Yeah,
you just
yeah.
sometimes you just got that's exactly what you're saying. Sometimes you just got to call it like you see it and be like, "Yep, that's good. Let's do this."
Yeah.
And those are the best.
And don't
both just like
don't laugh about it like you're saying it like, oh, I'm trying to say something. Like, just fucking like stone face, like say it and be like, yeah, that's what I meant.
Commit, baby.
The most sexist episode of SuperHouse ever. Here it is.
Yeah.
Some parts of it, yeah. But Maddie seems to attract chicks that just want to suck his dick randomly. So
Yeah,
you're doing all right. Seems like.
dude, I'm telling you, Maddie always got the fucking best ones out of the picks during the night. Chicago was fucking dope.
He'd be like, "I'm artistic. Watch me draw some shit."
I have never drawn anything for anyone.
That's how Johnson does it too.
Calm the fuck
No,
down.
I've never used that.
Maddie's got the joie de vivre.
Ah, yes, it's joie de vivre.
The joie de vivre. Maddie's got the mojo in a clutch. In times of need, it's just like, all right, this shit's on. I've seen it. I can attest to this.
I don't know. I wish I was like, I wish I was aware of this power so I could like leave tonight and be like tap into it and be like, fuck, it's on, let's go.
Harness this power.
It's in you, man.
It's yeah, definitely.
I just don't think at like this point in my life, right now, I just don't care.
That's the best. That's the best, dude. That attracts
I'm
the
just so,
the
like,
hottest.
fed up with,
The hottest
like,
chicks are
everything.
attracted to the dude that doesn't give a fuck.
But I don't. I just don't give a fuck.
And they
Right
and
now.
they know it.
So, I think the thing is like I don't have, like I just moved here, so I only have like work friends, which just consists of, hey, we're at work. Do you want to get a beer later? Maybe. Okay, text me. And then I go home and watch like Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then someone texts me, is like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like,
That's as good
dude.
as sex.
I'm like, dude, it's
Star Wars.
it's clocking in at 11:30. I'm in for the night, so calm down.
Yeah, Maddie,
We're in
you
our
gotta have a
30s.
down crew. You
Netflix
gotta
and
have
chill
a crew
means
that rolls.
Netflix and just chill out.
Yeah, well, that's right. Like, I just realized that Netflix and chill to a lot of people mean sex, and I was like, oh wait, I was totally reading that the wrong way. Like, I literally just want to watch Netflix and chill. Like, if you just like want to cuddle and some shit and eat some pizza, like, yeah, I'm binge watching Fringe right now. So if you want to watch with me, that's fucking cool. But then it's like, no, that means sex, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready for all that. I just wanted to watch Fringe and eat some pizza. I might have a beer or two. I'm All right.
Wait, are you saying you literally want to watch Netflix more than sex?
Depending on the night, yes, most of the time.
Oh wow, okay.
Listen, dude, I gotta get through Fringe. I got 2 seasons left.
There's still some binge watching to do. Okay.
Maddie, I'm a
then you
little
got-
disappointed. I gotta say.
Johnson, I will try to have an adventure soon in Cincinnati. And,
Alright.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Or come here,
That'll
man.
be-
There's a fucking surplus of hot chicks, I swear to God. I'm rubbernecking all the time.
After your Cannibal Corpse discussion, I was like, I'm in the wrong place
Oh, yeah.
all the time. Because, like, it's so hard to me, like, any kind of a woman here who you're like, so what do you listen to? Like, indie rock, and it's like, all right, cool. What do you listen to? And they're like, oh, I'm into Sonic Youth and this kind of band and this kind of band. I'm like, what do you think about men? And they're like, oh, gross. And I'm like, oh my god, seriously? fuck off. Like, I don't know. Like,
Might be worth a bangs, nonetheless.
I'm out. I'm over it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Are you looking for a girlfriend or a hookup? It's 2 totally different
Dude,
things.
I don't know anymore. I'm kind of like tired of the whole just go all the time. If I could find someone that like got me and was like, oh, have you heard this new album by the band Tombs? I'd be like, who are you? Marry me now.
Okay, Danny, you're looking for a girlfriend. You're not looking for a hookup. Hookup, that shit doesn't matter.
I'm looking for a hookup in Cincinnati, Ohio. I am consistently looking for the next Miss Fitzgerald.
Sure.
Future ex-wife.
Yeah, future ex. I mean, not that. I mean, I don't want that shit, man. I've been through that. I want to get married once. That'd be it. Have some little motherfuckers, and just be done with it all, man. Fucking,
Be done with it all.
it's a grind, and sometimes it gets down.
I got many Maddies running around. I'm good, baby. I'm smoking some weed, and I'm watching some Deadpool, and fucking, I'm high.
Yeah, come here, my little childrens. This is called Star Wars. I love it.
Oh my god, that's great.
Dad, we don't get it. You're dead to me.
It only starts at 4.
Yeah. You're dead to me, son.
Yeah. Dad, how can I repay you? You love Star Wars, but I don't like it. I like Star Trek. Get out of here. I like Star Trek. I'm just kidding.
But not as much as Star Wars.
Oh, I love Star Wars so much. All right, we moving on, boys?
All right, let's do it, guys. So we're moving on to the nerd news section, everybody. Oh, wait, no, we're not. We're actually not. I'm sorry, listener. Please forgive me. We're going to introduce a new section. It's a good thing I'm pretty drunk, because I'm going to have to fucking lead this one. We'll see how it goes. Actually, Stefan, you're kind of into it. So this time, we're going to do something that I thought would be kind of fun. We're going to read and quote-unquote act out video game dialogue and see how it goes. This is like a voice acting thing. Maybe not everybody will do this, but they will surely judge us. So
I will, for sure. I don't have anything planned.
So, hold on. I'm sending you guys the link. We're going to do Resident Evil at first because Resident Evil 1 is known as one of the worst dialogue, one of the worst voice-acted games of all time.
What are you talking about? It's genius.
Are these, are we going to try and do it as cheesy as possible, similar to Resident Evil, or are we going to try and, like, actually
Are we going to play different characters? Because I want to be Jill.
Okay, hold on. Let's see what we got here. All right, so it seems like we're going to do Resident Evil 1. I'm going to explain this for the listener. This has a few lines. Jill actually only has one line.
That's fine. I'm good with that.
Okay, so Maddie, you're Jill. You're the last one.
I want to be Wesker.
Okay, Stefan's Wesker, and I'll be Barry.
Wait, so this link you sent is what we're reading from?
Go down, and it's only a couple lines, but it's the original Resident Evil and remake.
That's all the dialogue throughout it?
That's the only thing.
No, it's the
like,
beginning,
top
right?
line.
Is it?
Okay.
Top
so
lines, yeah.
I was like, I could have sworn they said more shit, but
no, they did, but we're gonna keep it simple at least for now, okay?
Okay.
So again, this is from Resident Evil 1, and to answer James's question, we're going to do our own interpretation. And Johnson, I want you to judge us. And James, you're not reading, huh? So you judge us as well.
All right.
Don't be harsh. I'm not an actor. I just draw.
Okay. All right. Okay. If I'm Barry, then I'm first, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Do it.
It's my fucking idea. Here we go. I'm going to find out what caused Forrest's death. It looks like he was killed by a crow or something. It's a weapon. It's really powerful, especially against living things.
Wesker, don't be a hard dog. Don't be a hard dog to keep under the porch, Barry.
We should start from the first floor, okay? And Jill, here's a lockpick. It might be handy if you, the master of unlocking, take it with you. I'm again. That was too close. You were almost a Jill sandwich.
You're right, Barry. Thanks for saving my life.
Oh.
Scene.
Scene.
Andrew, what was your... what voice was that?
That was...
British? Kind of?
Kind of, yeah. That was like my overacting British stereotype actor guy. I don't know. I love those kind of characters. Any other notes?
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I just want to say, from an actor's perspective, I think we fucking killed it. I don't care what.
Oh my god, that was good.
These are great. I love it.
Did we want to switch roles? Like, does somebody else want to be Barry now?
I want to be Leon.
Leon, do we have the fucking lines for that shit?
It's
Yeah,
down
it's under
below.
it.
Resident Evil 2? Okay. There's not many lines, but alright, let's do it. Okay, so from Resident Evil 2, I'll be Claire. So, Maddie, you're going to be Police Chief Brian Irons.
Where the fuck am I?
Go down a little bit. It's just Resident Evil 2
Oh,
on
I
the
got
same
it too.
page.
I got you. I got one line. Oh, that's pretty lengthy. I'm ready. Let's do
Okay,
this.
ready? Okay, and let's start. Maddie, go.
Oh shit, sorry. Those monsters from Umbrella, they have ruined my beautiful town. How could they do this after everything I've done for them?
Don't shoot! I'm a human!
It's over.
No, I have to find my brother.
You're right. This is just the beginning.
Ba ba ba!
Scene!
Scene! Let me tell you once again, killed it.
Yeah, I like how Claire suddenly dropped 3 octaves in the line.
I'm still trying to deal with
James.
that.
I just want to say to James, that's called acting, and take some fucking notes.
That's
Okay, alright.
Maddie-
I'll try to.
Maddie, I am in such violent agreement with what you just said.
Violent. I mean, someone had to say it. Someone had to say it.
Oh my god.
First take, done. Good. Print it. I'll be in my 3-story trailer.
I love
Let's see,
this shit.
Resident Evil 4, we only got Ashley and Leon. Who's playing who?
I'll be Ashley.
Okay. You want to be Leon again, Maddie, or?
I'll do Leon.
Okay. Alright, we're going to do lines from Resident Evil 4. Take it away.
Are you out of your mind?
I knew you'd be fine if you landed on your butt. I'm sure you boys didn't just tag along so you could sing Kumbaya together at some Boy Scout bonfire. Then again, maybe you did. Where's everyone going? Bingo!
It has like a question mark. Bingo?
It doesn't go anywhere.
Who says bingo with a fucking question mark?
Bingo? Was Leon trying to get a game of bingo going right then? He's like, what did I say? Like we no longer want to play bingo anymore.
That's exactly right. Bingo anyone?
We have to do Resident Evil Revelations, and I have to play Jessica right now.
Okay, I want
to be Quinn.
Okay,
I'll be Keith.
Okay, cool. I'll be Parker and Johnson. Can you do Jill? Do you have the page open? Okay, I'm going to
Which one's this one?
Wait, what
Resident Evil Revelation.
Resident Evil Revelations.
It's at the bottom.
We have one each on this one.
Who am I? What? What's going on?
Okay, so I'm Parker, right?
Oh, okay.
And then Johnson's Jill.
Jill.
And then, okay, we're good? Are we good or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know my character, and I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Jill, where are you?
I don't know. The room, I think.
I hate snow.
Snow hates you.
Me and my sweet ass are on the way.
Oh, nice.
I gotta play that game.
Yeah, right?
Such excellent
I
acting.
played it. It's really good. It's a really good game. Revelation's great.
Oh shit. I'm having a really hard time getting through the remake. It's terrifying. Even I have a guide because I just want to get through it and experience it. Mm-hmm. But I'm really scared of this game. I know what's coming around the corner, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. How about I just stay right here?
It's like, no.
Resident Evil terrifying. I think Resident Evil 4 is probably my game.
Mm-hmm.
These are the early ones were terrifying. They're like Metal Gear, but for people who get scared easy.
What a review. Oh my god. Hold on, I'm sending you guys this. We're gonna do Bad Dudes now.
Yes.
Cause this is.
Shit.
I think we should all take
this.
We should take a let's take a stab at this one, okay? I think everybody should have their own interpretation of of this particular famous line. Okay, I'll lead the charge. Here we go. Again, this is from the game Bad Dudes on NES, I think. President Ronnie has been kidnapped by the ninjas. Are you a bad enough dude to rescue Ronnie? Okay, I'm done. Who else has an interpretation of this line? 2 lines.
I didn't get the file.
It's
It's
in the thing, or no?
Permission.
It
says I need
permission.
Are you fucking serious?
Yes.
Hold on.
Thought I could send that shit.
You know, I have a one off the top of my head.
Okay.
Again, back to Altered Beast. Every time you beat the fuck out of a bunch of shit and absorbed all that power, there was a certain level you would surpass in order to transform. And right before the transformation, it would go, power up.
Yeah, I love that one.
Power up. You're just like, I'm gonna fuck you guys all up right now. Altered fucking Beast.
Guys, I gotta run. It's daylight.
Where my Sega Genesis people at?
Peace.
That's Johnson going
See
away.
you, Johnson.
All right. Bye, Johnson.
Bye.
Power up.
Power up. Man, I thought I sent this fucking shit
There's
to you
so
guys.
many good ones.
Nah.
There's so many good
I'm
ones.
looking
Well,
it
shit.
up.
What about
Like
the
it-
fatalities from Mortal Kombat? Get over here. Well, that's not a fatality, but you know what I mean.
Special move.
You know
Yeah,
what
but
I
we could redo the Resident Evil 1 again one more time with
Alright.
different roles.
Wait, there's got to be other ones though. Just look at bad game dialogue.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're looking
that
this up
shit.
right now for the listener, guys. Bad game dialogue.
And we'll pick our favorite ones that we find. Huh?
The first one is Kotaku, 7 different types of horrible video game dialogue. It's mostly like English though. Oh, actually, there's a here we go. There's a bad dudes thing on here. It's not the same one, but it is bad dudes. Oh wait! Yeah, it's there. It's at the bottom actually. That president has been kidnapped. Very.
What about
bottom,
Shin?
actually.
What about Shinmu? And it's like he's walking around and he's just like, "Do you remember the day when it was raining and it was snowing?"
let me see.
Don't you fucking remember that?
I played it on Dreamcast, basically, but I got 10 of the worst video game dialogues of all time. Hold on, let's see what this shit says. Shit. This shit's hard to find. Shenmue, do you know where I can find some sailors? I'd like to find one that has like the Resident Evil one where it's like a character and then character, not just one dialogue.
Right.
One monologue.
Oh fuck! You look for video game scenes. No.
Let's see.
10 worst video games of all time. That's what you're looking at.
Well, let's see.
Top 10 Tuesday. IGN.
I don't want best video game scripts. Lord, no. There's like a video game... How to become a video game script writer, like a bunch of shit like that.
I'm down.
Shit. Well, I've broken the seal, so I'm gonna go pee real quick. 1 second.
We gotta think of more dialogue. Maddie. There's plenty.
I'm eating some pizza.
Oh god damn, that sounds delicious. That
I had
sounds so good.
nachos earlier.
I didn't think to myself anything to eat. I should do that.
Oh shit, James, it's just us.
Uh-oh.
It's gonna... I can hear Andrew peeing.
Yeah. How's that pizza?
Pretty good. Pretty fucking good. Some of us work late on Sunday night and just now get to eat food.
Yeah. Sunday's my one day off now.
I think next Sunday I have off, so that'll be cool. I can
Nice.
get more beer and whatnot.
Yeah, I've been working 6 days a week, about 60 hours a week or so.
Wait, have we moved on from the dialogue thing?
We're done, dude. Me and James have taken over this podcast, and both of you are done. You're out.
Fuck it. Who gives a shit? Is it nerd news time or what?
I think it's time to fucking talk about Civil War. Because goddamn
I
Civil
have been.
War.
That's the only thing I've been waiting for. This entire fucking podcast.
All right, this is what I want. This is what I want to
War.
happen. James, I want you to start this shit, and then Maddie, I want you next. How about that?
Oh, yes, sir.
All right.
James, go ahead.
Civil War is probably one of Marvel's best films for right now.
Touche.
Like, goddamn. The Russo brothers, once again, like, before this, it was definitely Winter Soldier was one of my top films, and now I really think they did again with Civil War.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah, that's all I can say right now. I want to get a conversation going. Maddie, what'd you think?
Dude, I just fuck these motherfucking brothers, man. They can make a good fucking movie. Like, I think if you
they
gave
came
them
from fucking Arrested Development to this.
I don't care where they came from. They can make a good fucking comic book movie, man.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, I don't care if I haven't seen it, like what they did on Arrested Development or Community or whatever the fuck. But Winter Soldier was fucking brilliant, and fucking Civil War is even better than Winter Soldier. Because I just went back and watched the first Avenger, and That I still feel the same. First half of that movie, great. Second half, shit.
Yeah.
There's so much green screen, and I hate it. But, dude, to me, Civil War was better than both Avengers films put together. I just felt like it had the action that I've always wanted from reading like any kind of Marvel comic or any comic at all. And I immediately kind of compared it to Batman versus Superman because you basically have the same kind of ordeal. You have Batman versus Superman, or you have like Cap versus Iron Man, with obviously more people involved, but it just like they got it, man. They knew how to throw the punches. They knew how to make it exciting. They knew how to give you something new in the universe that you're just like, oh, dude, I did not expect Ant-Man to grow to Giant Man.
Yeah.
I was just like, when he was just like, I'm going to try something. I passed out every time I did this. At no point in my mind did I go, no, he's going to grow big. I just was like, I don't know what he's talking about. What's he going to do? And then he did it, and I was like, oh, my God. This is the greatest comic book movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Also, Tom Holland as Spider-Man, fuck
Perfect.
yes. Give
Fucking
me
perfect.
my only complaint is at this point we're getting so young on Spider-Man. I'd really like to see an older Spider-Man.
Well, no, all the other Spider-Man have been super old.
I know, but they're played as like 15-year-olds, even though they're like.
Finally, you have a guy who looks the age.
Yeah, and that's fine. But I think like after this Tom Holland and however long this goes for, I need to see like an older Spider-Man, someone who's like fought Venom or some of the greatest Spider-Man villains and been like, yeah, I've been through that. Fuck it, what's up? What you got? Dude, it was just so fucking good. I don't even know if there's anything I can complain about really.
The only minor complaint I had was a bit of too much shaky cam at the first scene.
Shut up, James. It's perfect.
Like the action was so good, but it's just like I still, no matter what film it is, not like too much. It's like I want to focus on that, and so it's like stop moving the fucking camera around. But other than that,
I want to say
I saw it in IMAX, so it's like it was big enough where it's like it didn't really detriment anything for me. So
I just want to say one last thing about the villain of this film, Zemo.
Yeah.
This guy, in the comics I know from what I've read, I haven't read anything with him in it, is he has some kind of superpower, but I feel like in this film he is played as a general intellectual who is just smarter, who can trick the Avengers / extended Avengers into fighting one another. And my God,
like,
you did a fucking great job, Russo brothers, because at no point did I think he had a mutant power that did this to them. He was just smart enough to throw these characters against one another. And that blows my mind, because it puts you at a level as like someone watching this is like a normal human. That's what we are. We don't have mutant powers as much as I want them, but
he's how Lex Luthor should have been in Batman vs Superman.
Exactly. It's just like this really smart guy who had this terrible thing happen to him was like, well, fuck all you superheroes. I don't give a shit. And I want you all to fight one another and not be friends anymore. And I thought that was great. I thought it was like a very like subtle point to the film that kind of came up out of like while you're waiting for this huge versus film to happen, you had this little guy that was like, I'm going to be the cause of this, so watch out, because here I come. And you're like, oh my God, it's true. You're going to make Captain America hate Iron Man, and he's going to go, oh my God, and then there's this, and then, it's so good. That was my thought process throughout that entire film.
Yeah. That and fucking Black Panther.
God dude, damn. I mean, Team Black Panther all the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which means Team Iron Man? I don't know what team I'm on anymore.
At the end, he's on his own.
You're on
he went back
my
to Cap.
God.
Yeah, he's kind of
He's the one that realized vengeance isn't the way. He had a full fucking arc in that whole film, and his last line to Zemo is, "The living are not done with you." God fucking damn.
That was a good line, yeah.
Yeah.
Russo brothers, direct everything from here on out.
They're doing Infinity War. So it's gonna
but they're
be
not
fucking
doing
awesome.
X-Men. They're not doing Spider-Man. They're not doing Doctor Strange. So it's all gonna be shit. So who gives a fuck?
You know what? The one I love most about this movie is like it so brazenly like takes responsibility for the actions of superheroes.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Where Zack Snyder's like he's like trying to explain himself out of trouble. Where the Russo brothers are like, no, this shit is not just fucking like unicorns and rainbows, man. This is some real shit happening here.
It's so good. Like, that's
Yeah.
the whole point of Civil War. Like, the comic was that all this shit's going down between these superheroes and people are losing lives and they're causing new villains. And I agree with you, Stefan. It's just like for Snyder to be like, oh, well, this is the way it is and this is why I did this. And the Russo brothers being like, fuck you. Superheroes should be held accountable, and some of them will agree and not agree with the government sanction. And I fucking love that because, like, you see the hurt in, like, Scarlet Witch's eyes.
It's so clear.
Like, she hates what she does.
Yeah.
And she actually like, she feels bad for it in the fucking film. She actually says these things.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why couldn't you have done that? Why couldn't have Superman just gotten up there and been like, I'm sorry this happened. I'm new to this. I don't know my powers.
This shit is so good.
Yeah,
'Cause you end up
they still had
getting-
fun with it. You still had Ant-Man saying, "Oh God, I thought that was a water truck."
Well,
Yeah,
by the time Spider-Man comes around, you know, like that's the point of the movie when you don't want it to end at all, and you know it's going to. But then they get to Spider-Man, so it's like a little movie unto itself. It's just a fucking Tarantino fucking like move. It's just a short film in the middle of this bigger film, just because, and because you want it. And dude, like that kid fucking nailed every little aspect of Peter Parker.
Yeah.
And then when you see him fighting that big giant epic fight at the top of the second act, you know, like
Him not being able to shut up, him like commenting on everything. He grabs
but
Bucky's
being
arm.
smart, like
being
charismatic and being like knowledgeable of what's going on.
That's
insane.
nothing the other people playing Spider-Man could do, and he fucking had it.
I thought it was fucking brilliant, man. I'm excited for Infinity Wars. Bring it on. Russo brothers, please make every comic book movie ever from this point on.
They're the ones that, like, this was a small thought I had to myself, like, every time a director in any of the Marvel films had their second film wasn't as good. Like, Jon Favreau for Iron Man 2 is kind of considered not as good as Iron Man 1 because it's kind of over-convoluted. There's a lot of different story arcs going on there. The same with Whedon for Age of Ultron. Like, a lot consider that to be not certain aspects of it not as good because like they're trying to like shoehorn in a lot of things. So it's like, oh, this is the first set of sophomore directors that are like, yep, they fucking got it. They fucking knocked it out of the park again.
Yeah, I just I don't know.
I think it's because they had
like,
two directors.
Yeah, that's gotta help. That's gotta help.
I mean, it's just like bouncing it off your like if I was making a fucking Captain America Civil War, you best believe Stephen James, Andrew, Joey would be there. Like, even if you didn't write the script, I need to like look over and be like, was that Captain America good enough, or should we have Chris Evans do that line again? You know, like that's like you got to call in your boys, and if your best dude is your brother, and you guys just fucking get how to write and like how to make a good fucking movie, because I don't even think it's like the source material. I think if you gave these guys anything, they would make a great fucking movie. I mean, from what I've heard about Community and everything, is like that show's fucking great. Despite I'm sure there's some bad seasons, but you know these guys know how to write and they know how to like make it just fucking good and real and just like put you there with those characters. At no point was I ever taken away from this film. At any point where I was like, oh, I can breathe now. Like, I can take a breath. I literally felt like I held my breath through that entire movie. And then after 2 hours and 25 minutes, I was like, whoo, Lord. That was wonderful. Thank you. You know, it's just like these guys get how to make a fucking comic book film. And I think it's something, it's kind of my complaint with the X-Men films as well, is Bryan Singer, I think, gets the humanity of it. But he doesn't get like the action side, and I think that's what the Russo brothers get. Like, just the fight scene at the airfield where it's like, oh, this. I feel like the fight there was getting kind of bland, and it's like, oh, cool, Spider-Man's there, and he's done some cool shit. And then they're just like, we got something for you. It's called Giant Man. You ready? And I was like, no, I'm not. Shut up. Shut your face, you stupid Russo brothers doing everything right. But, like, they know how to make everything fresh and exciting, and they knew stuff that hadn't been done. They're obviously watching these films, reading these comics that a lot of this is based off of. And I will say, reading the comic series, just Civil War, none of the extra stuff, and seeing like Captain America Civil War, I think they actually did a better job than the actual comic. I definitely think with like Mark Millar, you get something a little harder, and people do die in those comics, which is kind of nice to see in that universe. But I don't think any of us were ready to see, War Machine die, or like the whole time I was watching that fight, because of reading the source material, I really thought someone was going to die, and I was just like, when it was like halfway through, I was like, I don't want anyone to die. I like all this cast of characters. I don't want anyone to get hurt. I want everyone to be happy. Can you all just be the Avengers again? Please shut up. Be friends again.
Stop fighting.
I just basically. And
Mom and Dad, stop fighting.
Yeah, that was basically it. But I wanted to see the fight. I wanted to see like the turmoil between there, and like what Cap had to do and what Iron Man. I think both of them are right in both aspects of this Civil War comic. Or this film, but
I was reading online of like people before the film, whether they were on like Team Cap or Team Iron Man, and then after the film, they were both like, "Oh yeah, see, this is exactly why I was on that team." It's like, from their point of view, from both actions, like they still like it reaffirmed what they already thought. But at the same time, it's like I feel like the Civil War comic, the original one, wasn't. Yeah, a lot of people say today, a lot of the character arcs weren't as good as they could have been. They kind of like mishandled a lot of stuff. Like they basically outright made Iron Man into a straight up villain. But this is like you could see everything like weighing on him from Sokovia and like everything else. And as I like to call it, it was Tony Stark's very bad, horrible, no good day. It's like everything went to shit for him. And so you could see by the end when he finally saw that video of Bucky, killing his parents, he's just like, fuck it, you killed my mom, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, I thought, dude, like, Winter Soldier is like, like we've said before, Winter Soldier, Avengers 1, and Guardians of the Galaxy, that's like the top films. But this one is probably the top 4 now. Like, these are the top four Marvel films. And also, like, it's a Captain America movie, basically, but it's kind of an Avengers movie as well, and it makes it kind of hard to compare to Winter Soldier, because Winter Soldier is very like focused, and there's not much like super powers. Like there's no laser beams being shot really, as far as I remember. Yeah. But in this one, it's like superhero action out the yin yang, and just to see like when you saw that shot in the trailer of them charging at each other in the airport parking lot, it didn't look that great. But then when you actually saw the movie, it was like, holy fucking shit, this is fucking incredible. But I will say a couple things I noticed. The fight scene, especially in the beginning, it seemed like all the punches and stuff were like ramped up, like they were the speed of it was sped up a bit. I noticed that more than the shaky cam. And then in the aircraft fight, the airport fight, I felt like it was a bit weird that Iron Man brought a teenager to a war zone.
Yeah. Well, that's like a thing a lot of people are talking about. Where it's like, what did he do the right thing? He is. He's like 15.
It's motherfucking Spider-Man.
Yeah, I know, but still. Like, it was cool. I like, he was hilarious. He was great. I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan. I'll go on the record and I'll say that. But
are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah, I am.
May's hating on everybody today.
But like, I did enjoy him quite a bit in this movie. He was fucking hilarious. He was everything a Spider-Man should be, and he wasn't 35 years old like Tobey Maguire was. Yeah. Grown man Tobey Maguire is in high school, in that first movie. Yeah. It was kind of like, what the fuck? What's some other shit? Oh, another like small thing, and they're not complaints; they're more just comments. But like,
Andrew hated this movie.
no,
Just to let everyone
no, I
who
did
listens
not.
to Superhouse,
I just
he
wanted
hated it.
I wanted to comment like whenever Vision gets owned by what's her name?
Scarlet Witch?
Scarlet Witch. Wanda. She throws him down like 1,000 stories down, and it felt like this is a bit overkill, isn't it? I know it's Vision, but holy fuck!
Oh, dude, I think you answered that question. It's the fucking Vision.
Oh, but let me say, I love the fucking Vision. I love Paul Bettany. I've been a fan since A Knight's Tale. I love that motherfucker. I will everything. He could read the phone book, and I would be like, "That's the most amazing shit I've ever heard, Paul. Can you say that shit again?" But
Paul said my name. He said my name.
Exactly.
Paul said my name.
I fucking love Paul Bettany and him playing the Vision, like him being like, "I bet
The
the
Vision is
paprika."
fucking brilliant, man.
Paprika, and like whenever he tells Hawkeye, like when he tells Hawkeye, "There is no way you will win," I was like, yes, I fucking love the Vision. I'm Team Vision.
Yeah.
Fuck Cap and Iron Man.
Throughout this entire movie, I kept thinking of the Sega Genesis Avengers game. That was the most real the Avengers had ever been for me up until that point.
Is Vision in that game?
Yeah, it's like
You
Cap,
can play as him. It's
Vision,
fucking amazing.
Hawkeye, and Iron Man.
Oh
Yeah.
fuck! I gotta play that right now.
It's great.
It's a side-scroller
amazing.
beat 'em up. It was an arcade game.
Holy shit!
It's great, but it pretty much lays the whole thing out. And then Civil War was, it's a good enough movie that it made Age of Ultron better because it incorporated those events and like took responsibility for that, that lack of delivery that the first Avengers had.
This is why they did it so better than Batman vs Superman.
Yeah,
like
they have so much invested in it. It's like these guys. It's not that the Russo brothers are the best comic book fans ever, or that they're the best directors ever. They're like fucking athletes at this point. Mm-hmm. They're just like training hard and fucking going to work every day.
I will say, like, I agree with James 100%. Like, as far as Baron Zemo did exactly what Lex Luthor should have done in Batman vs Superman. Like, he pitted two heroes against each other and played them, and it was so, basically stupid in Batman vs Superman. And in this movie, it was so much better.
It was the biggest fuck you to DC, this movie, because not only did they take responsibility for their own superheroes, they took responsibility for DC's superheroes as well. Like that's their bastard stepbrother, you know what I mean? They're just like, they're failing behind, and the fucking the Avengers are like fully assembled now. Like, we are seeing this happen. Of course we're going to see Black Panther. Of course we're going to Doctor Strange now. That was a compelling tale. Told
I walked into the movie.
As many ways as possible.
I was expecting Black Panther to be kind of throwaway, like they're just gonna like hint at him, but he had like a full arc.
Oh,
and
at first he
made sense. Like everything he did was great. I felt.
Yeah. At first I was like, I don't know how I feel about this guy. I don't know much about Black Panther. I don't know much about anything, but I know his accent. I don't like it. He's got to work on it for the sequels. What's going on here? And by the fucking line at the end, by all the shit that goes down, I'm just like, this motherfucker is the Black Panther. The Black Panther is alive, dude. That shit was amazing. By even the end cutscene that plays into the Black Panther movie, just that little scene between them. It's just like, this dude. They've established that this guy is the Captain America of fucking Africa. We just don't know why yet. And they just, like, those two standing there in front of that window together, they're just like, they're on par. They're fighting for the same thing. That Marvel set up what is at cost here and why we need these big heroes and protectors, like, watching over the events of our own story and shit. And fucking DC is just like, I don't know, have them punch each other. I don't know, shoot a sword at them. I don't know, light them on fire.
Yeah,
I don't know.
They just totally missed the mark. Just unbelievably so.
There's some Kool-Aid, man. They got to drink that Disney Kool-Aid.
Yeah, there's a good line that kind of rips into like DC as well. When they caught Bucky after he had been turned. They got him caught in like that press or whatever, and he says like, "Yo, your mother's name was Sarah," and then Falcon was just like, "What the hell does that have to do with anything?"
Oh
felt like
shit!
that
I
was a
totally
dig at-
missed that.
I felt like that was a dig at the whole Martha scene.
But that's possible. But they were filming this as
Like
they
at
were
the same
filming the
time.
other one. Yeah. So
Yeah.
unless they might have had privy to their scripts. Who knows? But yeah, that was good. I did feel it was a bit weird that
Well,
Winter
it's-
Soldier
it's-
wanted
it's
to submit
interesting.
himself to go away for a while. Like even if you feel guilty, I don't know if you'd want to like cryogenically freeze yourself for
I know
However
Well,
long.
he was just
pretty
like,
harsh.
I don't want that shit to happen again. When Zemo got the book and like said all the words
knows
that
he's a
like set him
weapon.
off again. So he's just like, I want to make sure that doesn't fucking happen again.
I will
Freeze
say
him.
this: ever since I watched Street Fighter, the animated movie, one of my first animes, wherever I think Ryu is brainwashed, I've been such a huge fan of characters being brainwashed. And I fucking love the Winter Soldier being brainwashed. And I'm
That
like,
he was, you know what? The Winter Soldier, like if you think about like our generation of the Avengers and maybe what's going on now, but what they're doing with the Winter Soldier is he's their Wolverine type character. He's this like loose cannon. He can't control himself. He's rage without any ability to restrict himself. And it's like, this is the Wolverine that we've always wanted, but they're incorporating this character and making him more famous in this next generation of comic books and films. Like, that dude, like, there are fans of the Winter Soldier out there, and then, before these movies, most people probably didn't hear of him, and then people who did
Right.
hear of him probably didn't read those stories. And it was just like, the things that they're doing with character and story, in order for, like, the greater good, like, in order to get these well realized, is like, I almost wish somebody would hack Warner Brothers so Marvel could license DC characters.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Like most of these characters, like a lot of them I either didn't even know about or really cared about. Like even at the very beginning, I remember in college days, like I remember hearing of Captain America, but never really caring too much about him. These films made me care, and like all these other characters as well. Like hell, even for Marvel, Iron Man was considered like a B tier character, where like they brought him to the forefront, and even in the comics now, he's like one of their number ones.
Yeah.
And it's just because they put so much care and thought into these that like people really resonate with these.
like when Iron Man 1 came out, before the Marvel Cinematic Universe was a thing, the only thing people could say, like before, like when the trailer came out, but before the movie was out, was that like, this guy's a bit old, isn't he? Like, this isn't Spider-Man. This isn't like, he's not young enough.
Yeah.
Like, but now like Robert Downey Jr. is and Iron Man is like the fucking character.
He's fucking amazing,
Yeah.
dude. He's graduated. That character has graduated, like, kind of directly in those Spider-Man scenes to like the godfather of the Marvel universe. Like when he's not Iron Man anymore, they're passing the mantle, and they know that. They're kind of aware of that so they don't have to reboot things anymore. They're just gonna. I feel like they're just gonna get used to the fact that somebody else is gonna inherit these roles, and it's very public. So it's like, from that first Iron Man, however old he was, like Robert Downey Jr.'s comeback, really, and now he's kind of like passing the mantle to another scientist of different ability, but of similar mind and like drive. So it's like, that was that moment right there, and Homecoming and everything. Dude,
I'm
it's
excited for
fucking
it now.
on. I
Like
cannot
after seeing
wait.
him in this, yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. The movie's
That and
incredible.
supposedly Marvel has a lot more creative control over Homecoming than originally thought, as well.
Yeah,
So
that's gonna be the shit. Like, can you imagine from Sony's perspective? They're like, "Oh, you're gonna do most of the work, and then we
yep, go
get some-
ahead. Here it is. Yep, we
Yeah.
saw all this
Yeah.
other shit. Go right ahead.
we get some money from it.
Yeah.
Okay, great. You guys go ahead. Shit. Yeah, Tom Holland was fucking great. I love I love that how they talked about how Marissa Tomei was like, "You're like amazingly hot aunt," or whatever they said about her. Like,
Yeah.
they keyed in on her like being kind of too good looking for her age. I thought that was great.
Yeah, she's fucking. Marissa Tomei is fucking 51, and goddamn.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, James, I wanted to ask you about this because you're from New York. I know you're not from the city, but is there a Queens specific accent?
Not too sure on that. Like, I have some family in like Staten Island, Long Island, and around there, but each borough is a bit different. Like Brooklyn is definitely different than Queens. So like that moment between Spidey and Cap was pretty great. of them just like talking about that. So because that is sort of a thing. Is like, oh, we both know we've been in these. We grew up in these areas that are just slightly different from each other, but like still pretty close.
Yeah.
So like there
yeah.
is that. You still do get like that camaraderie in a sense from the different boroughs.
That's something that Stan Lee likes to point out at like almost every convention and every panel he's at. He's like, Marvel had Gotham and Metropolis, but I just wanted to put everybody in New York.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I mean, having a fantasy city is fine as well, but it's cool to see like, oh, Queens, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I really like when films are shot, and I think watching like The Dark Knight being filmed in Chicago, there's like that. You just get excited for it, man. So when someone says like, I'm from Brooklyn, I'm from Queens, you have those people who are from that city who get really psyched, and that's what's great about like these superheroes is like these superheroes are from your city, and I think that's great because it makes you root for Marvel a little more because these characters have lived where you've lived or something, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Man, that movie was so fucking good, man. I just like. The more I think about it, like it's definitely I'm gonna have to see it again.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna see it again.
I knew I would enjoy it, but I didn't think I would love it as much as I did.
Yeah.
Especially because I get really concerned about all of the characters that are involved and how you balance that. And for me, not being like a scriptwriter or anything, I was like, it can get too convoluted because I think we've seen with some films how things can get very convoluted watching them, and you're just like, what the fuck even happened in this movie? Like, I feel like Avengers Age of Ultron is kind of that way, like so much is happening and you're like, oh my god, like no one has a story, like what is happening? And then I just feel like the Russo brothers gave you a complete story with characters that you loved, and they're like, oh, here's Spider-Man. You're like, oh my god, how did you throw Spider-Man in this? Are you guys really shut up?
That and every character had their moment in the film. Whereas, as you said, one of the big things about Age of Ultron is a lot of people complain it's like that should have been longer because like it felt like everything was too compacted in and like you didn't know exactly what's going on. You needed more room to breathe. Where this film had enough room to breathe and like every character had their moment.
Yeah.
And so I will say, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it again. My girlfriend and I are gonna watch a couple more like Marvel films. Like we watched Ant-Man last night, and we're gonna like watch more to get caught up and watch it next weekend. I will say, just a bit side tangent. Unfortunately, like she had a horrible experience, and this is more about like general movie going experience. Two assholes sitting next to her would not shut the fuck up during the entire film, and it pretty much like nearly ruined the entire experience for her. Like she still got a lot out of the film, but she's just like you can only see a film the first time once.
You saw it at separate times or what?
No, we saw it together. We sat next to each other, but she sat next to like some fucking to quote human piles of garbage. Would not shut the fuck up during the entire film, and just fucking ruin the experience, which is just like. I fucking hate that when people like, there is a sense of, we saw it Friday, so like opening night, any of the big moments, obviously people are going to be excited and like, that's awesome being as a group of people enjoying something, yelling about it, it's going to be awesome, but it's like, these people would not shut the fuck up during the entire film, and it's just like, if I sat next to them, I might have like punched someone out.
That
because,
sucks.
Like I could even hear them. I was like giving them the fucking stink eye, but they didn't fucking care. It's just like I fucking hated that ruined our experience. So it's just like we need to see it again without fucking assholes, goddamn teenagers.
It's weird how there's like I feel like for us anyway. There was when I went to the theater with my parents and they were showing me theater etiquette. Was very much you got to be quiet, like don't have anything on, respect other people in the audience, and like, and I feel like that's like, it's not there. I mean, it's gotten better as my theater experience, especially seeing these big blockbuster movies that a lot of people want to see. Yeah. But there's always, like James was saying, there's always that instance where you're gonna get those fucking assholes, and it's gotten better, but I remember early on when like cell phones you could text and like you could like a lot of people were just leaving that on. And it's very distracting when you're trying to watch this movie and then to the corner there's like 3 people texting and you just see that light up. And I just don't like it. Just kind of bugs me about that kind of like going to see a movie. Like if I'm at a concert, it doesn't bug me because I know people want to like text about it, shoot photos. But it's like, you can't just take a fucking video of fucking Captain America Civil War. You're not allowed to do that. You know? Yeah. And it's just, it's so frustrating that, like, everyone is just, I don't know, man. I mean, maybe it's, like, a generation before us, but I feel like it's also a lot of older people who just don't, like, give a shit anymore. I mean, a lot of the times it seems like it's teenagers, but I've also just had a lot of older people just, like, answer phone calls in a theater, and it's like, I know it's fucking Thursday night, but this is opening night for me. You need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I mean, that's a whole other discussion. I'm sure anyone who listens to this also has the same complaint. But
yeah,
I will say this. For all of you who are listening who thought, I don't know if I want to see Civil War. I don't know. It might not be good because Batman vs. Superman was not good. Well, you're wrong, and you go see this movie right now.
Yeah. This fucking blows that movie out of the water. That and, like, it's not just even the big action moments. It's, like, the little subtle pieces that you catch up on, too. Like, one thing I really loved, every time, like, you know, you saw Cap or anyone land from a big jump or something, like, they had their whole weight into it and had to, like, kind of roll or stop. Black Panther, he just, like, no fucking sound. Like, that fucking, as my girlfriend says, Winter Soldier had one of the best car chase scenes ever. And this one probably topped it, but it wasn't a car chase. It was a fucking, like, they were fucking running at 40 miles an hour. And then, like, fucking Black Panther just drops. Makes no fucking sound. It's just instantly running, too. Like, those little subtle things, because, you know, he's a cat, pretty much. Yeah. And just, like, those little, like, little subtle, like, character things, which also just, like, adds to it so much. It's incredible.
Yeah, I also agree with, like, the subtleness of those guys, man, the fucking Russo brothers just fucking get it, man. I just, like, I don't know how they can be so perfect at it. I was expecting, like, Civil War maybe to be, like, the one that's like, oh, it's good, it's fun, I enjoyed it. But it's not going to beat Winter Soldier, you know, because, like, they had a lot to prove on that one. It's like, at this point, they could turn in shit, and Marvel will be like, yeah, that was good, you made Ant-Man big, and you put Spider-Man in it, good job, you know, and move on. But they didn't, man. They just fucking brought it, and I love, like, I hadn't seen Captain America: The First Avenger probably since the theater.
Same,
and I just watched it the other night, and I love when Cap's just like, I can do this all day long. And I'm just like, oh my god, it's such a fucking, like, it's just him. And I recently watched Winter Soldier, and I didn't catch it in that, so I'm going to rewatch it again probably tonight. But I just love that, man. Like, these guys are paying attention to the movies that have come before them, even if, like, The First Avenger to me is not that great of a film. I love half of it, and the other half I can do without. Just rewatching it, I was like, there was so much fucking green screen.
What's crazy is Captain America 1. Captain America 1 is better when he's not Cap.
Dude, I totally agree.
Like Skinny Steve scenes, like fucking A, that is the fucking shit. And then Erskine, like pointing at his heart as he dies. Incredible. It's like, and now you have like I didn't like Cap that much at all before these movies, and then he has like these scenes that are like just got the heart, like the end of Winter Soldier, where he's like, "I'm not gonna fight you, Bucky," and he sets the shield down and gets his ass beat. Like, I fucking love that scene. God, I love that fucking scene. And then he was like,
America.
He's like, I can do this all day. I was like, oh my fucking god, I fucking love Cap, man.
Yeah. He is what Superman should be in the Zack Snyder films.
To quote another SuperHouse member, Jeremy, he said, "We should be cheering every time Superman takes a shit."
Yeah. No, that's the thing though. Like, I shouldn't give a shit about, like. It's funny because to me, if you take Superman and put Captain America right beside one another, Superman is obviously the bigger character. And I could literally give a shit about Superman at this point in the film. In all the films he's been in. And I root more for Captain America. And I think his costume looks dumb. I don't care for it aesthetically. But the Russo brothers, like with Winter Soldier, I even think it looks pretty cool in First Avenger, and even now, like they fucking get how to make a suit look fucking cool.
No, I mean, look, going back to Winter Soldier, like they're like he goes to the museum at the end and steals the old costume, and I love that because they're like, look, I'm going old school, baby. This is about Cap, like. They just don't care how cheesy it is. It's like it's unapologetic. Like this is motherfucking Cap, baby. He's about to run in with that old school suit. What's up? You know, I think it was so great.
And that gives a lot of credit to Chris Evans playing fucking Captain America. This dude is fucking brilliant in this role, and I think if they recast him, it would make me sad. Like I need at least 10 more. I need 10 more Captain America with Chris Evans.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, I get he will probably not do that many, and I'll be sad. But, you know, he embodies him, and he just gets that character. And, like, selling those performances every time he's on screen. Like, I believe if I met Chris Evans in real life, I'd just be like, you're the greatest human being alive. And he'd be like, no, I'm actually a really shitty dude. I'm like, but you're Captain America. He'd be like, oh, my God. You know, like... I just feel like he gets who Captain America is, and you know, even with the best directors, can't get certain performances out of certain people, but like with the Russo brothers and Chris Evans, they get who Cap is, and I think they also get coming from like, you know, Robert Downey. I mean, he's a great actor being Iron Man, but a lot of could have changed. Like he could have hated the Russo brothers, so we get a shittier Iron Man. But they also get Iron Man, so they can play this smarmy, like, kind of fuck rich kid, you know, with money. I don't know, man. It's such a good fucking movie, and those guys are best friends, and I just want them to hug and kiss and love each other. And it's just, it's so much fun to watch them. And I want more Winter Soldier. He's just such a cool character. I agree with what Stefan was saying about him being the Wolverine of this, like, franchise. Everyone in there just had their time, had their due, and to bring these characters over from like Joss Whedon to like Jon Favreau to whoever, like Shane Black directing Iron Man 3, and then these guys just getting these characters, and like even with Ant-Man and just having to like embody each one of these characters says a lot for the actors they've chosen for these roles. Also how great of directors they are to kind of, I mean, I don't know how they did it, but I'm assuming like when you get Paul Rudd, it's like, Paul Rudd, be Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. And he's like, got it. You know, and it's like, hey, Chris Evans, be Captain America. Hey, Robert Downey, be Iron Man. Scarlett, you gotta be, you gotta be Black Widow. Let's do it, you know? And, like, I feel like the actors we have playing these characters really enjoy playing the characters. Because I think if they didn't, you'd know. You would know at a point. Like, I think we'll know when Chris Evans gets tired of playing Cap. I think we'll know when Robert Downey gets tired of playing Iron Man. You'll see it in a performance. You know, it's like it's time for a new one. But at this point, I think they're all just kind of like riding this wave of just the fun of being in a comic book movie. And I'm sure it's hard fucking work. I can't imagine showing up, being in makeup for several hours, and having to go perform. Like, it sounds terrible. I don't want to do that. You know, I don't even want to go put clothes on a hanger at work. I can't even imagine what it's like to fucking put on a costume and fucking go do it every, you know, to make us the fans happy, you know? Like, these guys love this, and I think, you know, as much as people, you know, oh, this is the last Iron Man, or this might be the last time Robert plays Iron Man, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he does it a couple more times before he's done. I mean, I can't imagine the feel you get of being an actor and someone coming up to you, a little kid, and being like, you're Iron Man. It's like when someone looks at my artwork and says, this is really cool, man. Like, how'd you do this? And, like, ask me about it. I'm just like, oh, okay, you know, well, I just did it in Photoshop, but, you know, it feels pretty good. You know? Like, it just feels nice when people acknowledge what you've done, and I can't imagine on that level of being fucking Iron Man or Captain America and having, like, little kids being like, you're my Captain America. That's gotta feel fucking amazing, man. You know?
Yeah. I remember there was a video from a couple years ago. It was when Iron Man 3 was coming out, and it was at Comic-Con. And they had a bunch of kids come on for like an Iron Man costume contest or whatever, and then suddenly just Robert Downey Jr. just shows up while they're all just standing there and like giving all the kids like high fives and stuff, and he was just fucking loving every minute of it.
Yeah, I saw that video. It's pretty excellent.
I mean, that's what's great about these actors. It's like they seem generally, like, even if they haven't read the source material, they seem to care about like the characters they're playing about, because I think what like John Bernthal said about Punisher is like you have this obligation to the fans, like people who have been reading this. Like, I mean, there are people in the theater that have been reading Captain America before movies of Captain America ever existed. You know, and they've been dying for this moment. So I assume when they see Civil War, they're just like, oh my god, this is fucking great. You know, it's like I was trying to think of something that I love just that much, and I think it's probably just seeing like the new Star Wars film of something I grew up with and have always loved, and just like getting this new film that I feel like is finally for me, and just being like, God, this is fucking good. I don't care what any of you motherfuckers say. Like,
Yeah.
Like, I can imagine, like, I'm sure people who are really big Captain America fans probably love the first Avenger, whereas I'm like, I'm not a big Cap fan, and as a film fan, I think half of it's good, the other half is okay. I'm sure there are people who are like, fuck you, fuck your face, I hate you, and it's great, because I haven't had this cool of a Captain America, you know, before, and who knows what happened. They probably like shit themselves watching Winter Soldier, because I almost did, so...
Like,
Yeah.
I can tell you the exact scene where I was like, I am now on board with Captain America, and that's when he jumped on that fucking grenade in the first one when he was still Skinny
dude,
Steve.
Yeah.
I was like, holy fucking shit, this is fucking awesome, and you don't see this a whole lot in a whole lot of other movies, and he's still that same guy throughout the rest of the movies, and it's great. It's fucking great. And my only other exposure to Captain America, for the most part, was from the Marvel fighting games, like Marvel Superheroes and Marvel vs. Capcom. And other than that, like not a whole lot, because he wasn't in the X-Men cartoon. He wasn't in any other cartoons I watched when I was a kid. I knew who he was, of course, but that's really it.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of the same for me. I mean, Stefan and I have talked about it on Camera Noise, just our love for, you know, reading a comic book and then just kind of wishing for this stuff to be on the big screen for a long time. And I've had people in my life to be like, why do you want to watch every comic book movie that comes out? And it's like, you can't explain that. Like, it's just you want to see what you read live, you know? I don't know how to explain it. I just want to see every comic book movie, even if it's shitty. You know, like, I hope X-Men Apocalypse is great. I hope it fucking blows me out of the water. But I'm going to see it, and I'll be the first one to say if it's a big piece of shit or not. But, you know,
that's going to be a very interesting episode.
Yeah, but it's great when you go see Captain America Civil War, and you're just like, why are they calling this Captain America Civil War? It should just be called Civil War. How are they going to balance all these characters? Like, there's so many. And then just, like, watching it, and you're going, I don't know how they fucking did it, but they did it, and it's fucking great. Oh my god, sign me up for the next one. Infinity War, I need it right. Like, after that finished, I was like, I'm ready for a 4-hour film of Infinity War, let's go!
Yeah. I need fucking Black Panther, I need the new Spider-Man, I need Infinity War, I need fucking everything right now.
Yeah, it's just, Marvel's fucking killing it. And I know, Andrew, you said something like that DC is another beast unto itself, but I really feel like the people who are doing the DC films now really need to take note of what Marvel's doing. And I was talking to Joey just through text, and he was just like, well, they've had years to do this. And I said, my response was, if you have a good team, they can make a fucking good movie. It doesn't matter how much information you have or how many films you've watched about them. If I watched every Captain America and it was shitty and then saw Civil War, the Civil War I saw in the theater, that's a great fucking movie.
My friend explained it like this: DC is essentially asleep behind the wheel. Like,
yeah, I mean,
like I want to love them. Like, look, I've been a very big DC fan. I have, and I liked Man of Steel, but like Batman vs Superman was just not good. And I've been a Zack Snyder apologist for years, because I mean I liked 300. I thought Watchmen was okay. Dawn of the Dead was great. Man of Steel, good. But now it's like, I don't know, it's just like they're not totally getting it, and they're kind of embarrassed of their characters, and it's like,
yeah,
do what Marvel's doing, like, accept who the fuck your characters are. Yes, Superman is vanilla. He's fucking, like, kind of boring in some ways, but still, he's got that old school flavor. He's fucking, like, he's the OG motherfucker. Like, you could really make like a classic Superman movie. Like, get George Miller on it or Brad Bird or somebody like that. Like, it could be fucking incredible. But they're just, again, they're asleep behind the wheel, and they're embarrassed, and they want to hide behind darkness and grimness and stuff like that. And that works for Batman, and that works for some characters, but it doesn't work for everybody. And what Marvel is doing, and it almost pains me to say this, but they're doing it better, and because they accept who their characters are. They don't change even Vision's pink face. His fucking face is still pink. They're not apologetic about it. They're fucking following exactly what that fucking character is and running with it. And for the love of fucking God, DC, just fucking do that.
Yeah. I mean, that's like, it's also like talking about like how we've all been kind of upset that there's no like costuming for the X-Men. It's like they're ashamed of like the X-Men costumes, but that's what we all know and love. And there's a great way to do all those costumes. I know it's out there. Yeah. There's some fucking fashion designer that can figure this shit out. Just pay him some fucking money, and they'll do it, and it'll look great. I know this because I watched the Wolverine deleted scenes, and that fucking Wolverine suit looked fucking spot on.
I saw that, yeah. And also, like with Mystique, like I almost hate to say it, but like I would rather her wear that white dress with the skull belt than being fully naked. Yeah. I always thought that naked, that her being naked, like, okay, it's Rebecca Romijn or Jennifer Lawrence being naked, but she's not really naked. She's got a full fucking thing on, and she's more covered than wearing a bikini. So like, it doesn't even matter. Like, just fucking make her blue.
Pissed she's not really naked.
Yeah, make her really naked, or make her blue and wear the fucking... You could spend less money on a fucking makeup department and get her a fucking white skirt or whatever the fuck, that white dress, because that was a very iconic Mystique. And this Jennifer Lawrence, Rebecca Romijn Mystique has been pretty much weak. We're kind of all over the place right now, but yeah, I agree.
It's like when the first images of Apocalypse came out, and everyone was joking, "Oh, it looks like Ivan Ooze." And then there's also things of like, "Yo, look at what these cosplayers have done," and it's like a faithful look of Apocalypse, and it looks fucking better than your studio-driven film, where it's like these people that spent like, hours on their own with like, fucking, plastic and whatever. And spray painted, and it looks 10 times better than what you have. And thankfully they have, like, you do notice from that first image to like the most latest trailer, they made him less purple, more blue looking, and they added a bit more of the lines down to his mouth.
The lines are the most important thing, I'd say. Yeah.
Like, I remember the post-credits scene from Days of Future Past, and I'm just like, why didn't they have the lines on his face? Because like that was like one of the iconic looking parts of him was this, just the blue on his face. And it's just like, if you don't have that, it's like, I went with a friend who's just like, who was that? And it's just like, that was supposed to be Apocalypse, but I'm like, you would have known it better if they actually had him look like Apocalypse.
I feel kind of weird talking about this with especially Bryan Singer, because like I said before, like, Quicksilver didn't look that great, but he had like one of the best scenes, if not the best scene in the movie.
Yeah.
So like, I feel like even if Bryan Singer's costume design is not great, it's really not a lot of the time.
Yeah.
He will nail some scenes at least. So
right.
And shit, that some of those, like the Nightcrawler scene and the Quicksilver scene, and Maddie talked about this in Camera Noise a bit, but. Or even our previous podcast in SuperHouse, but I mean, yeah, a lot of the X-Men movies are just about like singular scenes, but at least he got something right, as opposed to like literally maybe one scene where Batman's fighting Arkham style in BVS.
Yeah.
Like that scene was great, but I mean, you got a Batman using guns and killing people and all that, and it's just like, look. I know you want to be dark, but fucking Christ, can we please not turn Batman into Punisher with a cape?
Right. Like, hell, Punisher had more restraint in the Daredevil season, than Batman did. That, and you were talking about, Superman being like, how can they do it? He seems vanilla. It's like, dude, they fucking did that with Captain America. We have
Yeah, yeah.
like
You have
5
to
awesome
admire
films with him, and like
admire
they
the
know
purity.
how to have that.
Yeah, to like admire the purity of that character, and I don't know, just again like we talked about before, like having that like Grant Morrison take where, or Jeff Johns, where the a lot of the character arc isn't really Superman's character arc, but it's how Superman influences Metropolis, like how everybody becomes more hopeful, like let's see what this symbol can do, what goodness and purity can do, because we do live in a world where Deadpool and Suicide Squad are extremely popular, and they are great characters, but there is definitely a lack of like that old school purity there. And if like you could like come back, like Marvel's done kind of with Captain America, and come back to that and say, hey, we're not dirty and dark like that, we're pure as fuck, like whoever the fuck is directing Superman, and like make that cool, or yeah, like make that cool like Captain America or whatever, like that would be something. Because I don't know, like if you look at like the millennials, and I'm generalizing like fuck right now, but like Deadpool and Suicide Squad are they're becoming much more popular. These anti-hero dark characters are much more popular than Superman is, and Superman's supposed to be the most popular character in the world, so something is changing. Possibly something's changing. I don't want to sound like I'm trying to make big predictions here, but I don't know. There's something going on where there's definitely people are more attracted to that darkness, but it's not really working as far like what we've seen with Batman vs Superman. So something's off. Something's off.
Well, I think it's good to balance the, like you have with Marvel, you have the Captain America, you have the Tony Starks, and then you get Deadpool, which is this totally thing from like left field. And it's great to see, especially being like someone who can go see an R-rated movie and misses seeing those kind of R-rated movies. But it's
Right.
like I think that might be why I'm not excited about seeing Suicide Squad so much, is because like I have all these dark characters all the time. Like, why would I want to go see these other ones? I mean, obviously I'm going to see it, but they haven't really set up why. Like, you don't have this really good Superman and this Batman that is, our quintessential Batman who is dark but refuses to use guns. You have this Zack Snyder bastardization of these characters, and then here comes the new DC movie, Suicide Squad. And it's like, I'm basically getting the same characters. Like, I just feel like I just have these villains I'm watching again. I mean, I definitely think Suicide Squad will be better, just knowing that director's work. I thought The Fury was great. Or Fury. But, I definitely like... the main reason I want to see it is because of the director. I think the cast is very interesting as well. I'm also totally in for a letdown. I'm going into that thinking that DC will let me down yet again. Whereas Marvel, like, I kind of go in being like... with certain franchises, I'll go in and be like, I don't know what to expect. But most of the time I come out being like, that wasn't great. It was a lot of fun. The Thor movies I really like, but like I had higher expectations going into the new Cap movie because I really enjoyed Winter Soldier so much, and just I was really hoping they could capture that magic again. And you know what? They did it, and it was wonderful. And my God, I can't wait for Infinity War. I can't say it enough. They just get the characters. They get what I want to see out of these characters, and I think they get what like a lot of people want to see out of our superheroes. They put them in their costumes for the most part, which is something that Bryan Singer and co. don't want to do for whatever reason. And it's just like, come on, man. Like, we're not asking for a lot here, man. I just want to see Wolverine and some yellow spandex, dude. Come on, give it to me.
Yeah, I know. When you look at those posters, it's like everybody's wearing black, and and even the makeup. Like, look, I know a lot of makeup people now because I've worked on Face Off here in LA, and like, I don't know, I know those people, and the makeup doesn't seem that good for a big Hollywood movie. It could be better. And yeah, just fucking like you need like a fucking full on colorful rainbow of these characters, and we're just not we're not getting it. Psylocke looks pretty much on point though.
Yeah.
Like that's like from
The
the
one.
fucking like from the comics. And there was that shot like that they put online, maybe in response to all the backlash that we're seeing, but it seemed like Nightcrawler had that like red V looking shape, and even Cyclops sort of had the neck strap, like the Jim Lee designs were there. And look, I know there's old school X-Men fans out there that like when Jim Lee designs came out, they were like, this isn't my X-Men. Look, I understand that, but fuck, that's my X-Men, and like that's the fucking shit that I want. Like Jim Lee, I know you're at DC now. That's sad, but like you fucking made the best X-Men. You and Chris Claremont. Like we just need that until the end of fucking time. Like just fucking put those out there. And again, like look, this movie could be good, and all the costumes could be complete shit. Like it's still possible.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. That young kid that's playing Cyclops still seems a bit off to me, and even like Nightcrawler seems sort of off. I do like Sophie Turner as Jean Grey. I think she's a pretty good pick.
I feel like with Nightcrawler for me is like they're just like, I know he's religious and stuff, but I feel like they play that up so fucking much in his like character, and it's just like
from
just
X2.
Yeah, and it's just like they're still harking on that like X2 bullshit, and it's like, man, just like give me a solid Nightcrawler, man. Like throw in some Catholic religion, but like don't fucking. And that's the thing that gets me about Bryan Singer. He's constantly like pressuring us into this. Mutants are different. Like this is why they're different, and it's just like, God damn it, man! Like I don't get this when I watch any other like Marvel movie. You know, like I don't know what Cap's religion is. I don't give a shit. Like he could be Christian as fuck and Republican, but he's gonna do the right thing. So fuck yeah, I'm all for Cap.
No, I actually worked on the Blu-ray for Avengers.
There is that one line he has in Avengers where it's like, they're when he goes to like deal with Thor and Loki, and like they're basically gods. It's like that's not what God looks like, and jumps off the airplane.
That's
That's all you need from him, and that's it. Like
that's exactly what I was talking about.
Exactly explains like his thoughts on religion, but like you don't need any more.
Like Joss Whedon actually says in the director's commentary on the Blu-ray, he says, "Look, I'm an atheist." He comes clean and says that, but he says, "Look, Cap is this character, and I had to, and you have to write Cap like that." And I thought that was so great, because that's what the fuck Cap is. Cap would say some shit like that, and I thought it was a great line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm just, like, that's the thing between, like, Whedon and the Russo brothers, and just, like, most of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to this point is, like, they don't get into specifics. It's, like, these little nods that, like, you guys pick up, or, like, you know, I'm sure if I would have, like, I actually have, like, Avengers recording on DVR just to like rewatch it again, but I feel like just Bryan Singer just harks on this shit all the time about how different everyone is, and like has to play up these characters' motives. Like, oh god, it just fucking kills me, man. Like this wasn't the comics to me.
Do you think that Bryan Singer and X-Men in general is sort of lost something because the civil rights movement, again, look, I'm not saying everything's equal, but it's not as bad as the time it was written in, which was the 60s. 63, I think, was when the first one came out. And you have like the whole, you know, MLK, Malcolm X movement going on, so there was obviously something to pull from there. And then there was kind of reappropriated in recent years for the LGBT movement. And of course, Bryan Singer is openly gay, so there's that, and I think he wants to put that in there. But do you think that X-Men has kind of lost something because it doesn't have... Like, of course, there's still prejudice in the world, but it's, at least in America, it's gotten like a shitload better.
I feel like in the comics, I think they kind of lost that a bit because there are just so many other superhero groups. Like in the comics, they're still the Avengers, they're the Inhumans, and everything else is so and so different. So it's like still trying to play off those same stories makes it a little more difficult when people are like oh, how can you like, Captain America or Iron Man but hate Wolverine when they're all superheroes? But yet, like, them still having their own cinematic universe in the sense of just X-Men where it's like just mutants. I can still see them like being able to play into this prejudice and being able to kind of use a lot of that. But I do see like where you're talking about where like almost every film has been like just constantly going on that same issue over and over again, but it is a point in which they can use for a point of reference for other people to get into.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I get it, but is at the same time, it's just like, goddamn, like there's been like fucking so many X-Men films. It's so preachy when
Yeah,
Bryan Singer deals with it all the time, and I don't want to go and be preached to at a fucking X-Men movie. I
I
just
get
don't.
that. Yeah, you could have like the
if
prejudice theme and then it not be. You could have a prejudice theme and then it not be like totally like
and
preachy. You know what I mean? There could still be mutant prejudice and it not have to necessarily be
and
about anything else.
And I mean, that's the thing with the X-Men movies. Like, every one of them has been like, every time the mutants show up in like a realistic setting, and some like Wolverine pops his claws, you get that reaction every time from a person that's like, "Oh my God, you're different." And it's like, God damn it, man, move past this. It's like I don't see that in a fucking Captain America movie. I don't see it,
Yeah.
in the Avengers films. People just accept this, and I get that it's like what he's hinting at is not like LGBT and everything that's going on in our current world is like, it's fucked up, man. And I just, it's just, movies are escapism for me. It's kind of like reading a novel or playing a video game. Like, if you want to touch on those subjects, that's great. And I will commend you for touching on those subjects and be like, that was a really great moment when Cap did this. And to this, like, if, for example, if they put in the next Avengers film or Infinity War a gay character, and there's a, like, not a right out mention of the character being gay, but just like appreciation of Cap, like accepting this hero for who he is, that would be fucking phenomenal for the great gay community. I'm not saying that, but for me, like Bryan Singer just harks on it so much. It's
Yeah,
like, oh my
yeah.
God, dude, you gotta stop rubbing this in, man. This is not like what they want. What that community wants, what I think they want, is just for them to be outright and be like, hey, this gay character from the comic books is in this movie now, and they're a gay character, and that's it. It's kind of like when you watch Mad Max Fury Road, and Furiosa doesn't have a fucking arm. Do they mention it at one single point in that movie? No. She is just a character, and she does what she fucking has to do, and it moves on. And that's the thing, man. It's like this harking on, like, we're different, we're so different. It's like, that's not what that community wants, is from my friends that I know in that community. They don't want to be singled out, they just want to be accepted. And I mean, I'm all for, like, I know there's been a lot of talk of, like, the new Star Wars film including gay characters and stuff. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, man. If they're fucking badass and it makes a cool fucking Star Wars movie, I'll be the first one to be like, fuck yes, we needed more of this back then. I just feel like there's a good way to do this and there's a bad way. And for me, the Singer films, for the most part, is the bad way of doing it. It's just like, you're not making a fun film. You're not making a film that people can, like, get behind. I feel like probably more people get behind, like, like the Winter Soldiers or the Civil Wars, because they're seeing more characters that look like them and resemble them. Like having Black Panther be, like, I didn't think he was going to be that big of a character, but he was. It's like, that's got to be great for, like, the black community, just seeing this, like, strong character who actually, like, fucking kicks Winter Soldier's fucking ass a lot of the time. And I don't know, man. I just, like, fucking, it just gets to me. Like, I mean, maybe people need to be force-fed this shit, but I'm not one of those people. Like, just give me a good fucking movie. Just give me good characters that are written well. I don't care if they're gay or they're super religious or fucking, I just don't care, man. I just want to watch a good fucking movie, and I want to see my fucking superheroes do fucking superhero shit. Like, just shit out of me. And I'm afraid when I see X-Men Apocalypse, I'm gonna get the same bullshit.
I think you have like a whole generation of kids too that are growing up in a world where gay marriage is legal and there's a bunch of essentially more gay acceptance than we've ever seen in our whole lives. And of
Yeah.
course, if you're in the countryside in America or wherever, like it's not going to be much different than it was 20 years ago, maybe. But like a lot of people grow up in cities or near cities, and to kind of keep on harping on this, it seems like okay, we've moved past it. Like let's like what you're saying, Maddie. Let's talk about something else. Like we don't need to harp on this quite so hard. Like
You,
I
you can't
did
cater-
hear an
you
article
can't cater,
though.
you can't
Oh,
cater
go
this
ahead.
shit to stupid fucking assholes all the time. You know, like I feel
Yeah.
it just like you can't like. I mean, you're just gonna like the people who want to go see your X-Men films are gonna get tired of it, and the next X-Men film that comes out, they'll just be like, "Fuck it, I don't care." Like after Apocalypse sucks. I just think I'm done with X-Men.
like the evolution
I just
thing.
don't give a shit.
Like Nightcrawler again with evolution. Like evolution is absolutely pivotal. The concept of evolution is pivotal to the X-Men storyline and the concept, right? They've evolved to a higher level or whatever you want to call it with mutant powers. And then you have a character like Nightcrawler who's deeply religious, and but it would be cool to have like a scene like, look, the Catholic Church has a science division, and we fully accept evolution. And that would be cool to see. I guess I'm kind of going off topic because that's not really about homosexual acceptance, but like
mean, it's
it could be
all
cool.
kinds
It could be handled better. It could be handled better.
Yeah, the thing that like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can be religious and accept like, I mean, God, when you think about like what the fuck Jesus did, he was just like, even if he wasn't down with homosexuality, he wasn't not gonna hang out with you and try to change, like, be like, hey, this is what I'm preaching, yo. And even if you were like, yo, I'm not down with that, I want to like sleep with my same sex, and he'd be like, well, you're going to hell, and you could be like, well, so I'll see whoever's there in hell later, dude. You know, like God. Then Jesus wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna smite you and burn you to 1,000 pieces. He was just like, cool, man, moving on. I'm gonna go try to save all these other people over here. And it's just like, man, dude, I just get so upset. It's just like, it just like bugs me, the whole like Christianity and Christ-like thing. It's like these people who are Christians aren't acting Christ-like, in my opinion. I feel like more people that are like people who say that they're atheists and don't believe anything are more Christ-like than actual Christians. Because like Christians hang out with the same fucking people all the time. They gossip more than like. Yeah, like you don't hear our podcast just gossiping about like fucking people all the time, you know? Like we don't give a shit about that. It just blows my mind. Like, oh, dude, fucking that shit gets me riled up, man. And like I feel like this is from an X-Men conversation. Fuck, this is not what I want to talk about. Talking about X-Men.
I'm sorry for sort of bringing. It's just so it's
it's
easy
fine.
to bring up with Nightcrawler being a Catholic character, but it's set in this world
still
where
is in the
evolution
set
is such
of
a huge
X-Men.
deal.
Like,
Yeah.
bring into there's a lot of actual politics in the X-Men as well. But you're absolutely right, Maddie. Stuff about like how it's funny, like hearing like, oh, Republicans like they're so religious and stuff. It's like, no, you're not, because like most of the time, like more on the Democratic side, it's like they're trying to help poor, doing like these social things where it's like end up Republicans are like, no, fuck you, I got mine. Or it's like that's not really very Christian of you doing that.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing I like about Nightcrawler. I mean, even if he is religious, he kind of sticks by his guns. He helps people. He's going out of his way. It's not like Nightcrawler's like, oh, I'm Catholic and I'm staying behind. Because I don't believe in violence. Like, Nightcrawler fights for a cause, and like, even though he doesn't see the way Wolverine sees or Cyclops sees, he's there to fight the good fight, whatever that fight may be. Like, he's obviously going to fight Apocalypse. He's this being that is trying to destroy the world, and that's not what he wants. And that's it's fine being religious. I'm not saying if you want to be religious and that gets you through the day, being a Christian and like praying to God, that's fine. But don't blame me for not believing in that. And I don't even know what we're talking about at this point. It's just like, I think what I'm getting back to is like, I just don't want the X-Men films to be so preachy. And I'm afraid with the line of the Apocalypse is like, the part in the trailer where it's like, it's the 4 horsemen, and well, maybe they got it from him, and it's like, oh my god, if this relates back to some kind of super religious thing, I'm just gonna lose my fucking mind.
I think that's probably
like,
just that one reference there, since it is his four
That's what I
horsemen.
hope, James. That's what I hope. But like I don't have any problem with like Nightcrawler's one of my favorite characters. I'm excited to see him. I hope he has another cool part besides one cool action scene in the beginning of X2. That was my biggest disappointment with that film. Is like I'd been waiting to see Nightcrawler on the big screen because I mean we've all played the 4-player X-Men game. He's a great character to play.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorites to play in that. And it was great to see him on the big screen, but he was wasted in my opinion. And I'm hoping that like the new one, he'll get a bigger screen. He'll get more screen time. It already looks like I saw a scene where he's like, I forget who he's fighting. Maybe Archangel.
Yeah, Archangel in like some cage match or something.
Yeah, and I was like, this looks pretty cool. Like I like this look. I think it's pretty interesting. I don't know how it ties into the film, but I just don't want so much preachy shit. I mean, people are different, and that's fine. And I guess maybe for me, I'm just very accepting of different lifestyles and what people want to do. The way I live my life is if it makes you happy, do it. As long as you're not hurting other people. Like, if you're a cannibal and you're eating people and killing people, that's wrong. You shouldn't do that. Because that person might not have wanted to been your food or killed, but like if you want to worship God or you don't, or you want to worship Satan, you want to be gay, you're gay, or you need to. I don't care. I just be who you are, have fun with it. You only get one chance at this life, so be the best person you can be. Treat people like just the way you want to be treated. And I feel like when I watch that in a film and it's constantly being berated on me, film after film, I'm just like, fuck, I don't care. Like, I know how I want to live I just want to see a good fucking X-Men film, guys. That's all I'm saying. I just want to go watch it and be like, this is the comic book I read as a fucking 10-year-old, And I feel like with Civil War, getting back to that, which is where we started, that's what I got. I felt like, even though I didn't read Avengers comics, but I felt like that's what I wanted an X-Men comic to be to me. Like, I wanted to see that head-to-head. Like, when the X-Men show, the 90s show, opened up and it had, like, Sabretooth and Magneto, and it's, like, Wolverine and Cyclops running towards the middle.
Yeah.
Like, that scene when the Avengers run towards each other, I was like, the Russo brothers just made the best fucking X-Men movie.
Yeah.
But it has no X-Men in it, And it's just like... And then that rumor that they kind of want to get Wolverine in on the Infinity Wars, I was like, oh my god, if you do this to me, I will love you guys forever. I will have so many of your babies, and you will love it. It's so good, man. I just fucking love that movie. I'm just scared that Apocalypse won't be as good, and that makes I just want a good X-Men movie, and I don't feel like I want much from it. I just want Civil War and an X-Men movie. Is that hard? Can we do that? Can we make that happen? It's just, people get paid millions of dollars to make good films, and I haven't seen one good X-Men movie yet. First Class is good, but I need to see like the essential like 90s team going at it,
Yeah, that's not going to happen till we get Fox handing over characters to Disney, probably.
I want to see Wolverine jump up on a Sentinel that looks like a Sentinel and rip his head off. Too much.
It would be so great if they did that, but there would be one problem. That would be Deadpool, because Deadpool should definitely not be under Disney. Fox did a pretty good job at that first one, so maybe if Deadpool's like, I don't know, like went over to X-Force, but they still have Colossus, and that's a big mess, actually, but maybe if just Fox would fucking follow more of what Marvel did for the X-Men franchise, but still stayed at Fox so Deadpool could come in and out here and there.
What?
Maybe something like that.
The only scene I would want of Deadpool in like a Marvel film is him like going up to the Avengers mansion, just trying to get in, and them just slamming the door on him. That's
or him hitting on Thor like, oh, you have big arms.
Because he's like him knocking at the door, Iron Man opens up, it's like, oh fuck you, and just closes the door on him.
This is all you have to do to put Deadpool in like a Disney film. You just have to have him turn to the camera, break the wall, and go, so for this film, I have to be PG-13. So you guys aren't going to see the normal wisecracks that I normally do, which I like, just some kind of spiel. And then he cracks a joke about, like, and he can say penis jokes all day long, because as long as he's not dropping fucking F-bombs and fucking curse words, he's basically fine.
I've read something online, someone had a good idea about this, I forget where, but it's like, in PG-13 movies, you get one F-bomb.
One fuck, yeah.
So the whole time he knows he's in a PG-13 movie, so he's going to try and, like, wait for a perfect moment to use it, but then someone else does it, and he's just like... just get so pissed off from that.
That would be great. That'd be great. It was so good for what they did, though. So I kind of, like, hopefully they just keep going with that. Like, just make the Deadpool universe, make the X-Force universe, make them all rated R. Make Cable say fuck 1,000 times. Whoever the fuck, I don't know much about X-Force, but whoever the fuck else, Bishop, like, just fucking go with it, dude. Like, you obviously, like, hit a chord there, like. That shit was fucking hilarious. So just keep fucking going with that.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many options with X-Force. I read a really cool X-Force where it's Deadpool kind of stumbles on to them trying to rebirth Apocalypse, and he's just like, basically the comic starts and Deadpool's just walking and complaining about how the X-Force like kicked him out for the moment, and he's just like, oh, what's that shiny thing over there? And then he just like runs across the like this plateau. And, like, goes through the sewer, and he's like, oh, fuck, are they trying to, like, regrow Apocalypse or some shit? And then he falls, and then, like, before he falls, he, like, signals the X-Force. He's like, hey, guys, I think, like, they're trying to bring Apocalypse back. And then Wolverine's basically, fuck, what the fuck happened to Deadpool? And that is the start of an X-Force comic.
Yeah.
Deadpool just finds something, and then just, like, I mean, that would be fucking great. Like, I'd love to see, like, a more R-rated Wolverine. I think he can do the PG-13. He can also do the R-rated. I mean, he's fucking Wolverine.
Yeah, he could kind of do both for sure.
And
yeah.
I would like to see that because that X-Force also consisted of like Psylocke and then this character called Phantom X, which I think maybe Grant Morrison developed, and he was just kind of a weird dude. But I don't necessarily need to see him. I mean, obviously Cable has to be in there and stuff, but. I don't know. There's a way to do this, and there are people that are smart enough to figure it out. It's just if Fox trusts them enough to do it and lets them take the gamble. And I think with seeing a film like Deadpool do so well, they're going to take that gamble more often. So it'll be interesting after Apocalypse, if this is like Singer's like last X-Men film, to see if they like give it to someone else, like the creative team behind Deadpool or some other guys that those Deadpool guys know. They're like, these guys are fucking great. You need to give them X-Men. They know. Because the Fox side of what they own of the Marvel, like they need the Russo brothers, that Russo brother team over there doing that.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Like I said, it's going to be complicated because Deadpool's so like if it wasn't for Deadpool, I'd like for the whole thing, like X-Men, just all of them just go over to Marvel and make a Netflix series. Like, let's just do that. But like Deadpool doesn't really allow for that to happen, because if they do want Deadpool to cross over into the X-Men universe, which he already has, he's been to the fucking X-Mansion. There's been talk of Professor X and all that jazz, and Colossus is a core X-Men character. They're definitely going to run into problems with that. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. And like maybe the cleanest thing is to do X-Force at Fox and then X-Men at Marvel Disney. So, I don't know.
Well,
we'll see. We'll see.
I also think the thing is too, like maybe we'll see a shift in like maybe Disney should do something different besides put their name on it. Like, this is Disney, but we're called this to do these kind of R-rated films.
Miramax?
Like that. I mean, we know it's Disney, but that doesn't mean it can't be, like, I kind of look at, like, the DC animated films, and I feel like they went from, like, PG to PG-13, and then The Killing Joke looks like it's going to be, like, an R-rated animated film,
Yeah, that's already confirmed to be R.
Yeah, and it's like, if they can do that with an animated film, it's like, why can't Disney make a Deadpool 2 an R-rated film?
I would love for them to do that, but I don't know. Disney won't slap anything with. They won't have anything with their name on it. But
well, that's what you think now till they get all that cash.
Yeah, maybe if it was Miramax, because that's Disney owned anyway. So
yeah, I mean you could
that's
just put
possible.
it under that. So
Deadpool under Miramax maybe, and then have it like loosely related. Like I guess there is a workaround. There's always a workaround, I guess.
Dude, literally Deadpool 2, if it was like Disney and then Deadpool just got up there and be like, this is a Disney film, I'd be like, oh fuck Deadpool, you done fucked up.
yeah.
You know,
because
like I mean that'd be
that's what that character is. Like he's that foul mouthed. Like I mean, you have a character that had like he got like a dildo up his ass. It's like a strap on up his ass in that film. Like, like that movie was not R because of action or language so much. It was because you have the main character getting pegged in the butt. Like, like shit like that.
I was trying to think of like my favorite action scenes in that movie, and I was like, I don't think there was any.
But you know the action. I remember the action was good. The action was. I key in on stuff like that. Like I thought that was really great, and then like Teenage Negasonic Warhead I thought was gonna be stupid, but she was fucking awesome. And Colossus, fucking Christ, the best fucking usage of Colossus we've ever seen.
Yeah,
like, and it was just funny throughout. Like Ryan Reynolds just gets this character, and like them having like it had more heart than fucking most comic book movies, and it's fucking Deadpool. Like it's a whole like Beauty and the Beast type of thing, like beauty's only skin deep and shit like that. Like they keyed into those themes. Like it's still Deadpool had a fucking message, everybody. I hate to break it to you, but he fucking did, and they pulled it off, and it was they fucking did it. They did it. They fucking A. Like I can't wait until the next one.
Yeah. That was the most surprising thing about that movie. Is like I cared about what happened to Deadpool and his lady.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't want her to die. I don't want her to die. You know?
Yeah.
And that was the funny thing about that movie. Like the movie, I thought I'd give a shit. Like I wouldn't care about any character in that fucking movie, and I thought I would just be laughing the entire time. And people would die left and right. I'm like, oh, his girlfriend, whatever, she's dead. But the whole time I was just like, man, I hope they get together. Like, I know it's going to be hard, but that would be a nice ending to this. And it's like, they do. And it's like, oh my God, Deadpool is a fucking romantic comedy. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, and they kind of undercut it with the humor a bit, because when they say that line, like, that's a face I could, and you think she's going to say love, but she says, that's a face I could sit on.
Yeah.
Like, that's like amazing. And
I mean,
but it still works. It still works so well.
Yeah, dude, it's great. I didn't think I was going to be excited to like purchase it when it comes out, but after this conversation, I think I'm going to have to go and pick myself up a copy on Tuesday.
Yep.
Yeah, they said like it's like breaking Blu-ray records, and like personally, I made a Facebook post about this. Like I haven't really wanted to buy a Blu-ray in a long time, but I would buy the Deadpool Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the last one I bought like brand new was Force Awakens, and that's funny that my next one will be Deadpool.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's probably a lot of people like that though.
Yeah, it's really hard for me to go out and just buy a Blu-ray straight up these days, especially with a lot of outlets to buy used Blu-ray and stuff.
The extras are supposedly fucking awesome.
I think that's a big reason too. I just kind of want to watch like the filmmaking process and
there's some good videos online about like the visual effects of it. Like they show the breakdown of the opening scene, and it's just, like that whole opening scene is like 90% CG.
Yeah.
Doesn't look it though, does it?
Nope.
Good job, guys. You did a good job with Deadpool. From SuperHouse, you guys did a good job.
Yes.
Well, it's the
Tim Miller.
Yeah, he's the head of Blur Studios, and if you look up their stuff, they do like tons of awesome CG trailers for video games, and like they've done like some movie stuff as well. They did the opening to Thor: Dark World, where they're fighting that very opening scene. They did that. They did the hell scene from the South Park movie years ago, and they've done a lot of good stuff. Cool. But like, they've done like a ton of DC Comics video game stuff too.
He did the Arkham Origins movie.
Yeah, that opening where he's fighting. Deathstroke.
Yeah, there's this thing on like Kevin Smith on Fat Man on Batman. He keeps talking about how when he first heard about Tim Miller, the director, he was like, "This kid is going places. Like this kid director is the best." And then he got an email from Tim Miller himself, and he was like, "Look, I'm glad you like the movie, but I'm actually in my 50s, and this is my first movie actually. But thanks." Which is cool. It's like, this is guy's in his 50s and he finally did a feature, and it turned out to be fucking huge. So it was like not just for Ryan Reynolds, it was for this Tim Miller guy. And look, by no means was this guy like in poverty or anything, but still, it was cool to see him like actually do this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's great to like hear a 50-year-old or even people younger than us doing this or around our age, like making these films that we love. Because it gives you hope, man. Like, I can do this too. Like, I also have these good ideas. And, it opened up doorways that, even though I'm doing this certain thing, I could direct this next movie or whatever. I don't know, man. It's just great. It's great that, people get these opportunities and they make these great movies. And, hopefully Deadpool 2 will be even better than Deadpool 1. And we'll just, I don't know, man. It's a great time to be alive and be watching comic book movies, in my opinion.
Oh, it's the best, man. It's the fucking best.
And I mean, I hate to be like, sometimes I'm just like, you should watch more artsy shit, but I get so excited for these fucking comic book movies, man.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I love that artsy shit too, man. But I get so psyched when you were like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go see Civil War. I was like, oh shit, Civil War's out? How the fuck did I miss this? And I literally after that got online, bought a ticket for the next showtime on Thursday to go see it. I was just like, I don't even know what the fuck happened. What was I doing? Daydreaming about some girls or some shit? I got comic book movies to see.
Exactly.
Yep.
Hey, not to switch to switch subjects quickly, but do we want to talk about Game of Thrones real quick, or do we want to save that?
I guess we should probably talk
great,
about
man.
it. Yeah.
I mean, I fucking loved it. I definitely thought for a second episode, any apprehension I had about from the first episode, the second episode blew it out of the water. If there's, you know what? I'm just not going to say anything about Game of Thrones till it's all over, and then we'll talk about it. Because as far as I'm concerned, these motherfuckers know what they're doing, and I don't even know why I need to talk about it.
It was definitely better than the first episode, and I gotta say, like, more than Khaleesi or even Tyrion, like, just the Arya and Jaqen is his name, like, that whole storyline I'm looking forward to the most. And, like, of course we all saw Jon Snow coming back. Like, that's cool. And the, what's her name? Red Witch, Melisandre. She's cool, but, like, God, it's just something so cool about cult warriors. Like, occultic warriors. Like, I eat that shit up, man. I eat it up. Like, I'm so glad that's a part of the storyline, and I look forward to watching it after we're done with this podcast.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I gotta download that. What the fuck am I doing with my life? Totally forgot.
Legally acquire it, you mean?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pay money for that off PlayStation Network for sure.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, actually I don't remember it's been a week since I've seen it, but I don't remember much other than this is not a good commentary. I don't remember much other than Melisandre bringing Jon Snow back, and I like Jaqen, and Tyrion bringing back the dragons. That was pretty cool.
I only do two things. I drink and I know stuff. Come on.
Yeah,
that was a great line. I fucking love that. Like, Tyrion's solid every time. I mean, can we even fucking, like, say any more? Like, he's so fucking awesome.
I'm not going to comment on him. This is what I'll say. Tyrion was fucking awesome in that episode. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah,
every time.
That's all. Moving on. What else? Cersei. Oh, yeah, the Cersei thing. Like, she's basically trying to play her own son at this point to get back into power. Is that what's happening?
I think so. Well, that and they finally have the Mountain like doing some stuff where he's, I guess, just walking around beating the shit out of people that says anything bad about her.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a great scene where he just like, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, just some guy on the street saying shit. And it's like, go after someone a little bigger.
Well, I totally forgotten that he had all that shit done to him because I was like, who the fuck is this? Because I mean, it's so because like I watch a season and then it's just like, all right, I'll just wait for the next one, and I don't go back and watch the season before I watch the new season. So I had totally forgotten about that because there's so much that goes on in the show all the time, and it's just like, oh, the mountain gets changed a little bit. I'm like, who gives a fuck? Like honestly, I want to see the mountain die. So just as someone to bring him down will be so fucking great.
That would be awesome, yeah.
But a solid episode. I mean, ready for the next one. I'm ready for the next fucking 8 episodes, 7 after this, however many are left. It's Game of Thrones to me is a great ride, despite like all the any kind of shit it gets or anything. It's just like, I mean, you know what to expect from this show, and I don't know, man. It's fun. It's that sword and sorcery shit that I fucking love, and I wait for good versions of it. The things I like about the show aren't necessarily, like, I'm not, like, I'm in it for, like, direwolves and fucking dragons and fucking Arya being a badass and fucking, like, Jon Snow coming back. Like, that's what I'm in it for. And all the other bullshit that happens, like, I wish it wasn't written. I wish that shit wasn't in there so more people would enjoy it. But you know what? Like, you just kind of got to learn to, like, accept this stuff, but also point out the bad points. And be like, yeah, it's shitty that this show does certain things, but, rape's not cool, guys. It's not cool in any form. So let's just not do it in Game of Thrones. Because there's already so much cool shit going on. Everyone should be watching it.
I mean, like, I think, what do you call it? Depiction does not equal endorsement.
No, I agree, but I just think they're, like, if that's a plot point to get around to something, you're a better writer than this. You can get through this,
I think it's just like the brutality of the time that it's supposed to be based on, that medieval time. Like,
listen, that's the thing though. This isn't based on any time. It's fucking fantasy. You can write anything. You can do anything you fucking want in fantasy, and to put rape in there is just like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that why you watch TV shows or play video games? Is to escape this bullshit world that we live in? People do these terrible fucking things. Like, it's not that, like, I didn't, like, when the new Tomb Raider game was coming out, there was a rumor that she gets raped in it. I was against it. But I still wanted to play it, and I played it, and there was no rape scene in it. And I was like, thank you, because this game is fucking great. And if you can make a strong female character, a strong female, without a fucking rape scene to bring her back down to, like, that just doesn't make any fucking sense to me, man. Like,
wait, but before we go on with this, what's the most recent rape thing that happened?
It was
in
from
Game
last
of Thrones?
season with Sansa.
Yeah.
With Sansa, yeah. I think that,
Ramsay,
like, it can get a bit gratuitous, but I think that it's not entirely. Look, this is a fictional world, okay? I'm not fucking endorsing rape, but like in Game of in Game of Thrones, I think it's okay as long as it's handled. Look, of course, I don't think it's been handled great every time, but like as far as like just to show the brutality of the time. And I do think that it happened probably even more than it does today in medieval times. I know it's fantasy, but it's based on medieval Europe, is it not? So I think that it'll be like, I think it's okay if they just handle it with a point. If it had a point to it, if they have it just for shock value, I don't like that either.
That's why I think they actually didn't really handle it too well, because it was once again Ramsay who, hey, guess what? Up to this point, we know he's a bad guy. Guess what? All the shit that he's done, he's fucking, first
he cut a man's balls
dick
off, man. Yeah.
Not his balls, his dick.
Not...
He cut his dick off. Then he sent dogs after one of his like girlfriends or whatever. Then flayed a man alive. And then this most recent episode had his stepmom and stepbrother murdered by dogs again. It's like, guess what? We got the fucking point.
His stepbrother, who is a baby, a total infant.
Listen, if you need to declare that someone's evil, just have them step on a baby's head, and I'll be like, all right, that dude's evil. I don't need to know anything else. Like, I want Ramsay's dead. I think that even
like,
if he turned around and saved everyone in a scene, I'd be like, Ramsay still needs to die. I do not give a shit.
To play devil's advocate here, like real devil's advocate, like Game of Thrones watchers tune into this type of shit because you don't get like a motherfucker killing a baby on any other show you've ever fucking seen in your life. And yes, we do know Ramsay's evil as fuck, but there is like I don't know. There's something to like a character that does some shit you haven't seen before in any other show. You kind of want to see it again. Like, it's fucked up, but it's just like, shit, this motherfucker's killing babies and all kinds of shit. This motherfucker's evil. Like,
dude, I feel like a lot of the times Game of Thrones for those scenes is shock value. Because,
it is.
Because 95% of the rest of the show doesn't do any of that shit most of the time, and it's still fucking compelling as shit. Like, I don't watch the show to see... I've seen some of the worst fucking movies made. But I don't... Like, I watch those movies for that reason. I don't watch Game of Thrones for this reason. I watch it because of the characters that I enjoy watching. And it just, like, I don't know. Like, it just... Dude... I don't know. It's not for me. I get why people don't want to watch it, but the thing that sucks about it is there are some really great characters and really great female characters that females are not watching because of these certain aspects of this show, and it's just like, what the fuck? Like, there's no point in this anymore. I just don't like. At this point on, I don't get why, like, any of this... Like, if there's another rape scene in this season, it's like, I'm going to be like, are you fucking kidding me? Really? It's just like a staple for Game of Thrones. We just got to throw a rape scene in. And that's when it becomes... That's when it becomes for shock value. And I think at this point it's become shock value because you have fucking assholes who want to see this shit. And, you know... It fucking sickens me, and Game of Thrones is great for all the other good characters that they have, and they have shitty ones, but you can make a shitty character shitty without doing shit like that. You can even make a shitty character shitty without killing a baby. You know? You just have to cut a guy's dick off, which I'll watch all day long. Cut a guy's dick off.
I feel the same way, though, Maddie, about that stuff, and even, like, to a lesser extent, like, you know, Game of Thrones about, like, any character can die, which is, you know, a big thing about, you know, Walking Dead as well, where anyone can die. It's like, at this point, it's like, it's no longer a shock thing because, yeah, we get it, anyone can die. Now their big thing is like, now he's coming back. It's like, they need to have these, like, things to, like, entice people to watch. Like, I guarantee you tonight, we are not going to see a continuation of what happens to Jon Snow. That's going to be at least the next episode, next week, not tonight. Because they want to get people hooked on stuff, but then still dangling out threads.
James, did you just say get people hooked on Game of Thrones? What the fuck have they been doing for 4 fucking years? People are hooked on this shit, man. We don't need anything else. We just need episodes.
That's what I'm saying, though. They're still adhering to like these same tropes and stuff to get people to watch, where it's just like, dude, we're already hooked because there are these really good characters, but it's like, we don't need to see this shock value shit anymore. We want to see good characters, good interactions, and stuff.
I hate to play devil's advocate again, but I do really like some of that shock value shit. I do really enjoy seeing that, because I do not see it anywhere else.
Well, and that's the thing, is like, I've watched stuff that is 10 times worse than Game of Thrones. So
what's 10 times worse?
Solo 120 Days of Sodom is 10 times worse than anything I've seen on Game of Thrones.
Oh my god.
I've watched a lot of like really intense shit because I seek that stuff out. Like Steph and I have talked about like our metal taste, like how metal kind of like starts you off at a point when you get into it, and then people who are really into it just kind of go down to it's just like there's like one note and this guy's just growling. And this is the most intense shit I've heard. And it's kind of the same way with like watching TV or movies. You look for this intense shit all the time because I just want to see something that I'm like, oh god, that's it. I've reached the point. I can't watch anymore. You know, and I've seen worse shit that's on Game of Thrones. So like I don't know, man. It's just like one of the worst rape scenes I've ever seen is in the film Irreversible. Yeah. Game of Thrones can't even touch that shit, man. That's the most disturbing rape scene I've ever seen. And I won't watch that movie again. I don't need to see it again, you know? And I don't know, man. That's one thing that bugs me about Game of Thrones, because they could have a broader audience with people who would really enjoy a lot of these characters that you try to sell them on, but like these, you know, scenes like that just take people out of it. And I don't even think it's like the gore scenes, because it's like, when he kills the mom and the baby in the last episode, you don't see like a dog take the baby's head and crunch it, you know? It's just like it's applied. But like
Yeah.
every rape scene is not applied. It's like they need to like set it up, make it kind of weirdly sexual, and then it happens, and it's like, what the fuck is happening? Slow the fuck down. You know?
That
It's like
Ramsey
it's
scene was
romanticized.
not handled well. It really
Yeah,
was not.
and that's the thing. It's like you're romanticizing this fucking atrocious thing that, you know, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what it's like, but I'm sure there are probably women in my life that know what it's like, or at least been scared into thinking that that's going to happen. I don't know what that's like. I don't want to know what it's like. I hate that they went through it because I love those people. So I just, you know, come on, Game of Thrones. I mean, you can make a fucking kick-ass show without that shit. But I will continue to watch Game of Thrones. I will not pay money for it. Because I don't
for
think
sure.
a lot of stuff. But
Yeah.
I will talk about it with you guys all day long and watch it. Watch it free of charge. I don't care who knows. Fuck it. Come get me, government. There are things to do than come get someone who's downloading fucking Game of Thrones. And it's fun.
I think it's just implied at this point, anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like I mean, fucking Game of Thrones banks on people downloading fucking episodes. Because then it's just like when people read that, they're like, oh, I gotta watch that shit. If this many people are fucking illegally downloading it, I gotta get on HBO now. I wonder how many, like, I want to like be behind the scenes at HBO just to see how many like people versus how many people downloaded it illegally versus how many people sign up for HBO Go because they might be scared that they'll get caught.
It's like the most downloaded show because nobody has HBO. Not many people.
Yeah. But you know, it's just I don't know, man. Man, I like Game of Thrones. I can't wait for this next episode. Gonna download it immediately and watch it, or tomorrow when I get off work. But you know, it's fun. The things I like about it are not the things that I think get it the attention that it gets. Which there are so many other good things going on in that show that make it such a great show to watch, like acting and stuff, and just fucking dragons, man. Fuck yes. I didn't know that Sean Bean actually got like in a bar fight, got stabbed, sewed up his own wound, and continued drinking. Like, and it was like he was hanging out with a woman or like a friend of his, and some guy was like making catcalls at her, and then they got into it, and then they got stabbed him with like something, and then he just was like, "No, that's all right." Basically, it's a flesh wound. And, like,
Are you telling me that Sean Bean is the greatest human being alive? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm just thinking that he dies an awful lot for being such a fucking badass.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I just read this story the other day, and I was like, why did Ned have to die? Ned's not gonna love you. That was probably like when I read the book. I was just when that part happened, I was like, are you like? Why should I read the next book? I don't even give a shit. I love Ned Stark.
Yeah.
But now he's dead. Dude, but so good. When that happens, you're just like, what the fuck? George R. R. Martin, you got it, dude. You got it.
Yeah, it's the only.
What
it's
else
like,
were we supposed to talk about?
Yeah. So we had like just some like miscellaneous shit, like as far as.
Power Rangers.
Yeah, I actually wanted to say something really quick about this. Johnson and I have talked about this for a bit on our own, but just like I want to talk about my fandom for Power Rangers as like from back in the day. So I was born in '84. Power Rangers came out around the summer, I think, of '95. So I was 11, and maybe even before that, maybe I was 10. And then, but I remember like I was so fucking into it. I thought it was so awesome. And then like a lot of my classmates were like, they thought it was so stupid. They thought like people are already too old for it by 11, and I was just thinking like I'm 10 or 11, man. Like why am I too old for this? This is fucking sweet. And like I loved martial arts. I loved the fighting. I loved robots, and I also learned it was from Japan. So I just thought it was so excellent, and it was like a Scooby-Doo type of thing where it was like a similar kind of it was the same fucking story every fucking episode.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was great. Green Ranger was my favorite, and then I liked all the fucking toys, and when the movie came out, I liked that. Shortly after the movie, I probably stopped liking it. So I'm not, well, yeah, I probably got out of it for the most part because I was like 12, 13, and people thought I was really too old for it by then. And it was like one of the first times like whenever when we liked not Power Rangers, but when we liked Ninja Turtles, pretty much everybody was on board. We were all like 5, 6, 7, 8, like everybody on the playground, right? You guys probably have a similar experience. Like fucking everybody loved that shit. But when Power Rangers came out, it was like just a few stragglers liked it, and it just like really was like it weirded me out because I was like, look, man, like this is the new Ninja Turtles. Like this everybody should be loving this shit. This is so great. And people were like preteens by that point and wanting to fuck each other. So like I remember that was like a very like tough time for me because I was just such a fucking nerd even then. I was like I could not let it go. And like just another side tangent type of thing, but I remember like around this time, it's like 5th or 6th grade. This is whenever people started to play kickball instead of playing on the playground. And I loved playing on the playground so much and playing as one of the Power Rangers or Ninja Turtles or even X-Men. Like, I loved that more than playing sports, which was kickball in this case. And I had such a hard time adjusting to everybody else who was already moving on to this kind of stuff. And, God, man, it was like the preteen time was rough for me because of that kind of shit. But moving on to like the new costume, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, there's been this comment of like they look like Iron Man Power Rangers, or why do the women have heels? And yeah, I wish they didn't give the women heels, but whatever. I think I heard that the X-Men First Class writers are writing. I think I could be corrected on this, but I think that they're writing this one, so it looks like the story might even actually be somewhat decent. So I'm actually kind of excited about these new Power Rangers, and I know this is even nerdier than what we even usually talk about, but I'm kind of into it. What do you guys think?
I have a similar background to you, where it's like, yeah, I remember the show first coming on. It was definitely more of a guilty pleasure for me too. Even knowing as a little kid, I kind of knew, like a lot of others weren't really watching it, but I definitely like watched at least the first season of it, and now there's like hundreds, thousands of episodes or something, because like they just went on forever, but I kind of stopped. I remember a funny thing of like maybe a couple of years later, like catching it on again, and like the putties were the generic guys that they always fought. I like the first season, like they actually used martial arts against them. In the later seasons, it's like I could see as a kid they had like a giant button on their chest, and they would hit everywhere but there. Then finally the last hit they hit and they just explode or disappear or something. Like even as a kid, I knew it's like, dude, just walk up and like fucking poke them in the button, and they're gone. It's like, why even bothering anymore? But yeah, like with the recent costume, this is funny. Reading online, I like the Power Rangers costumes more than actually Rita Repulsa. Like hers is just like, once again, like what we talk about with costumes with the X-Men and stuff, it's not like what I remember for her and stuff. So it's like,
it's pretty different, yeah.
Yeah, but like some have speculated like she used to be like a Green Ranger or something, so it's like that's her costume, just like ripped apart and stuff. So it could be like an interesting take on that, but it's definitely
it's weird
wait
too.
And see how they look in motion too, because it's just that one still.
It's like, does anybody really care how faithful they are to Rita Repulsa's costume? It's like she actually looks better than that old like purpley looking one back in the day. Like she does look a little bit like Poison Ivy a little bit, but she still looks good. And I do think that Elizabeth Banks' performance, she's going to pull through. Yeah. I think she's gonna look. You don't have to be fucking Hamlet. It's Rita Repulsa, for God's sake. Like she's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I liked Power Rangers just because I like the giant monster versus another like mech or another monster. Like I always liked Godzilla.
Mechs. Like come on.
Like yeah. I mean, I've always liked the mech stuff and like Godzilla and anything that comes with that. Like I'm not a huge fan of Pacific Rim, but I definitely like those big monster fights. I'm just like an action, like sci-fi, just horror comic book dude at heart, man. Like if you put that shit in a movie, I'm gonna be interested. And I think the suits look pretty cool. I mean, I don't expect much. I'm not like a huge fan. I don't hold this like dear to my heart like I do the X-Men films. If you listen to the earlier rant that I've gone on,
Yeah.
but I definitely think it could make for a cool movie. I didn't know who was writing it, so the First Class guys could be great. I mean, I think it's one of those things that has to like pay homage to the source material. Maybe make little clips at it from time to time. But I think as long as it sets itself into something new, and this is the new Power Rangers, you can really do whatever you want. I think Rita looks great. I think that costume looks cool as fuck. I think the Power Rangers look pretty cool, except for an updated Power Rangers. I was like, this seems like a logical step. Like I didn't look at it and go, oh my god, they totally messed up. Like it doesn't look that much different from. I mean, they have a movie budget, a huge movie budget now. They don't have a TV budget, you know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it looks fine. I'm kind of like James. I'm definitely going to have to see some stuff in motion and some kind of plot outline just to see what happens. But, I always liked the main mech they turned into, and I think with today's graphics, that shit could be fucking tight.
Yeah, if they get that robot design down, I think that they're definitely going to draw a huge audience. Because, I mean, look, we live in a world with Transformers and Ninja Turtles are drawing huge audiences, so this Power Rangers shit, I mean, that's the next logical step, so it's definitely going to be exciting to see where they go from here.
I'm going to say this. I kind of want to see the new Turtles movie.
No, yeah, I wanted to talk about that.
I don't want to say it out loud, but I did, and
I haven't even seen the first one. I haven't even seen the first one, and I was like,
see that.
When I saw the trailer,
better.
Yeah, when I saw the trailer, it's like what they're doing is they're doing kind of what Marvel's doing. They took a hint, so that they're like embrace your mythology, as silly as it is. You have a talking warthog and rhino, and a fucking truck that shoots sewer caps. Is that silly? Yeah, it is.
No,
but
it's not. Shut up, Andrew. It's great.
The Technodrome is in the fucking trailer. Like, throw all that shit. Lean into your mythology. Like, fucking full stop. Just fucking do it. It's been working for 20 years now. Just fucking go ahead. And that's what makes this trailer more appealing than even the first one. And I hate to say it because it's like a Michael Bay thing, but it looks halfway decent.
Dude, I think Bebop and Rocksteady look so fucking cool, man. And like, fucking Krang looks cool. And I still think the Turtles look fucking weird as shit, but it's like doesn't even bother me because they're getting this other half right.
Yeah.
I actually think the like Michelangelo character, like the guy who voices him, I'm like, that sounds like Michelangelo to me. Some of the other characters I don't care for, but it just like I was watching the trailer in front of Civil War and I was like, are you serious? You're fucking showing this shit in front of fucking Captain America? And then I was watching it and I was like, God, why do I want to see this?
Yeah, exactly. Because they're leaning into it, man.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that's like, I'm totally in agreement with the whole like leaning into like what made these characters. I think like getting away from making them look so much like Turtles but then kind of going back and making them look like Turtles was a wrong step. You should have just embraced, like, I'm not saying not update the characters. Like, I don't want to see the cartoon versions in CG form. That just look weird as shit. But, I just definitely think the departure to try to make them aliens and then, like, maybe make them turtle-like and then it just seemed, like, honestly, if they would have made this film and then changed the way the Turtles looked, I don't think anyone would have given a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people were like, they look different from the first one. I would have been like, shut your face. Come on, these are the Turtles I know. And, I mean, I feel like, I don't know, it just looks more fun than the last one. It just looks like it's not taking itself as seriously. Like you said, Andrew, it's just like you gotta pay those dues to the old characters, man. That's what I fell in love with as a kid. That's what I drew, like, in my, notebooks as a kid, and that's what I want to see on film. But yes, I hate that I kind of want to see that movie.
Yeah, I might not ever see the first one. I'll just see the second one because it just looks like, okay, this looks fun, and they know it's silly, but they know it's fun too. So let's just roll with it,
I mean, like, who are you trying to get to like sell to this audience? Like, I mean, you're gonna get little kids who want to see turtles because they just don't give a shit what turtles look like, and then you're kind of like, like they'll watch the Nickelodeon cartoon which is fairly good.
Yeah, it is good.
And then you're gonna get the people like ourselves who grew up with the turtles who want to go see a new Turtles movie. Like, who are you trying to get? Like 70-year-olds? 70-year-olds don't give a shit about the Ninja Turtles.
No.
50-year-olds don't care. Like, maybe some 40-year-olds. But they want to see the Turtles that we know, or maybe the comic version, which will probably the closest we'll get is that first Turtles film. But come on, man, give us what we want. Give us some X-Men in fucking costumes. Give us turtles that look like turtles. Give us some Power Ranger shit. Come on.
Yeah,
I just
exactly.
don't. I don't get I get studios because you're putting all this fucking money into it, and you're scared, and you're so worried. But it's just time and time again, they're proving that we'll watch about fucking anything as long as it reminds us of our childhood.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that gets me about it is every time one of these movies comes out, and every time the fans are just that was shitty because it didn't look like this. They're like, do another one, but kind of make it look like that, but don't really because we don't want to scare people. It's listen. If there's one people you need to accept is the fans because they will come out every fucking time. Even if you release one every fucking 3 months, we would be there. You best believe if they release an X-Men, a fucking Captain America movie in every 3 months, I'd be there. No matter how shitty it was.
Yeah.
I would watch it every time.
I think to date, there's only 2 superhero movies I haven't seen, and that is Ghost Rider 2 and the new Fantastic Four.
Dude, you haven't seen Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance?
No, I have not.
That movie is fucking great.
Is it really?
Yes. Okay. Have you seen Crank and Crank 2?
No, I have not.
Oh my god, dude. What the fuck is wrong with you? So, it's these guys who made these crazy... James, have you seen Crank or Crank 2?
Yeah, I've seen them both.
Okay, so have you seen the Ghost Rider movie?
No, just the first one, not that
I
you're talking about.
I thought I called you friends. So you have these guys who made these crazy ass action movies, they did Gamer, the Crank movies, which are they're just fun action movies, and they do this with the Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance is up there in my top 5 favorite Marvel comic book films.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude, because it's so fucking weird and crazy. It's just Ghost Rider looks fucking cool as shit. He's all tarred up. He has a fucking black skull in it, dude.
I heard that was terrible.
No, dude, it's so good.
First one's pretty bad.
What?
First one is pretty bad. But
the first one's terrible.
You're saying two is much better than 1?
2 is much better than 1.
Wow.
In my opinion. I love that movie. So the thing that bugs me about Ghost Rider 1 a lot is, so they take the skull and map it out to where your skull would be without muscle and face on it, without skin on it. Which is wrong because when you're drawing a comic book character, you need to size proportions to make it look proportionate. So you have this Ghost Rider in the first film that has this huge big leather jacket on with this really tiny head. That's not cool. It looks fucking terrible. So what they do in Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance is they make everything proportionate so that the skull is slightly bigger than it actually should be, which is great because that's what you do as an artist. You take something and you make it look cool as shit, even if it's not proportionally correct.
Right.
Because who wants to see a tiny skull on the top of this human body? Because it does. Obviously in Ghost Rider 1, it doesn't make any fucking sense and looks terrible. But Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, man, I stand behind. It's a crazy fucking film. It's about the occult and fucking weird shit, and the devil's in it, and fucking different cults are in it. There is some stuff that I'm like, but for the most part, I think it's a solid, weird fucking... Until Deadpool came out, I didn't think we would get another weird kind of crazy Marvel film. I thought Marvel was going to play it safe, and just everything that they did, they were just going to play it safe with this Iron Man, Captain America, just these characters that they can play safe with, even with Black Panther and Doctor Strange, those aren't that weird of films that are coming out. Yeah, Doctor Strange has magic in it, but it's not dealing with flaming skulls and fucking the devil, So it's gonna it's just a fun little film in kind of the Blade movies in the early Marvel days before they became the powerhouse that they are. I recommend Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance to anyone who has ever read a Ghost Rider comic.
Okay.
To me, it is the Ghost... we'll probably never see a Ghost Rider movie again. I hope that's not true. but I think these guys made the best Ghost Rider movie they could, probably with the restrictions they had. And Ghost Rider looks fucking dope as shit in this movie, man.
Wow.
It's
Okay.
so good. And the graphics are pretty good for it, too. They do a lot of daylight stuff, which I was kind of scared of when I saw it. Because I was like, why would you put Ghost Rider in the daylight? That seems like a dumb move. But they did it. It looks cool. He just does a lot of weird, creepy shit. Oh, man. I just want you guys to watch it. Like, there's going to be
Okay.
a conversation for the next one.
I haven't seen. I lied earlier. I haven't seen Punisher Warzone either.
What? Punisher Warzone is so good.
That's like the three I have not seen. I think I've seen every other superhero movie.
You can skip that
Other
last
than
Fantastic Four movie, dude. Fuck that shit.
Yeah,
But
that's what
you
I
have
heard.
to see Spirit of Vengeance and Warzone.
There
Because,
was-
like, they might not be, like, great Marvel films, like, compared to, like, Civil War or Winter Soldier, but they're just so weird and so strange, and, like, they play up the, you know, kind of like what we want from certain movies, like, that we're complaining about. They play it up, like, the Punisher villain in it, like, Jigsaw is just, like, fucking, he is made out of, like, his face is all cut up and made out of weird different parts of skin, man. It just, like, adheres to that, like, weird comic book sense and, like,
Let me
weird
tell you,
artistic style.
I think I missed that because I was in Japan at the time, and I think it was a kind of a minor movie that came out. I know it's a Marvel movie, but I don't know. I just totally missed it because I just wasn't watching as many movies when I lived over there.
I will say Ray Stevenson as Punisher is up there. I will put the new Punisher up there as my number one because I just think he sold that role so well, and I didn't think that he would. And then Ray Stevenson would probably be my number two. He's really good. But, man, I love me some Tom Jane, though. I love Tom Jane so much.
Yeah, he was
If
good.
If that movie would have been like a hard R Punisher film, that movie would have been fucking great.
I looked it up. Came out in 2008, the same year as Iron Man, so I think it was overshadowed. And Dark Knight. So
Yeah.
Punisher Warzone was just totally overshadowed for me.
Yeah, I mean, like, only right now I feel like has Punisher become a very popular character just because of Daredevil. Like, I mean, there are fans of him, and you know, I've had many Punisher comics in my time, and I've always watched every Punisher movie that's come out, even the Dolph Lundgren one that's kind of weird and not really based on the comics at all. But you know, he's always a character I'm interested to see what he's gonna do and how he shows up in current stories. Like even when he shows up in Civil War, the comic is really fun.
Talk
It'd be great
about
if he
like
was shown up in the Russo brothers movie.
going into what you call it. Like we talked about, do the original costumes. Would you want to see a Punisher with the white belt and white boots?
Dude, bring it on, man.
I think I like that. Actually like that costume. Like, bring on the white boots, dude. Like, just fucking do it, man.
I mean, they'll definitely. I mean, white's such a weird color because it's gonna get dirty, especially when you think Punisher.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I definitely like I think Punisher. I think that Punisher is a very idolized version of Punisher, and I think the Punisher we're getting now in comics and with Daredevil is very much the way a Punisher would really be in today's time.
Yeah.
And
He's
I
a very
think that works
realistic
really well.
character.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, if they put him in it, you know, for whatever reason to make a joke or something, I think it would be funny. But, or to make a quip about him wearing white shoes or white boots and something in his own series would be really funny. But, I just don't think it would work for, like, the current climate of, like, what they're doing with Daredevil and what they'll do with Punisher and the whole Defenders stuff. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, the thing I like about Punisher is, though, that he doesn't, I mean, nowadays, he doesn't really dress like a superhero. And he's kind of like Batman. I say Batman's a superhero, but I don't really see him as one. He's just a dude in a bat costume. And Punisher's just a dude that wears a skull on his chest and does what Batman does, basically, except he kills people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like one of the few characters that can like be updated, and we're like, oh, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I could see that.
Yeah. I would have really liked for him to have been in Civil War and Captain America, been like, all right, we're going to go with what the Punisher says, and then punch the Punisher in the face and be like, why the fuck did I go with what the Punisher said?
Yeah, exactly.
But, yeah, man. Dude, you guys got to watch both those movies, man. I need to know what you think. Like, you might hate Ghost Rider, but it's in my Blu-ray. It's like right under my Captain America Winter Soldier right now.
Wow.
So I fucking love that movie, man. I thought it was a lot of fun. I don't think we'll ever see anything like it again. And I think that time for Marvel just kind of experimenting is over. They know they have their formula and they're going to use it for the rest of time.
I just
like no
the
one
fir-
goes sees a Marvel movie.
the first one was just not that great, and the reviews weren't good for the second one, so I just never got around to it.
Dude, fuck reviews, man. I mean, I'm not a huge like Nicolas Cage is okay in it. He's not the Johnny Blaze that I would choose or pick. I don't know who I would choose to play Johnny Blaze, but I just felt like he was. I think he was only chosen because he's a big fan of Ghost Rider, and then he probably was interested in playing the role, so they gave it to him. But
Yeah.
I think if they ever did decide to do Ghost Rider again with a different cast and stuff, it could be like a really great franchise. But I just don't think with the bad taste of like at least the first one, and I think people were. I mean, not the second one's weird, man. It's just a weird little movie, but I just love it for its weirdness. Do I think
Yeah.
it's as good as like the Cap movies or some of the best Marvel films? No, but it's just once you watch it and you see like the weirdness of it, you'll be like, man, that's a fucking weird Marvel movie, man. Like, and then you'll go, we'll never see that again. Like the weirdest thing I've seen is Deadpool, which is a pretty straightforward movie. He just curses a lot and there's blood in it, you know?
And he gets pegged.
Yeah, I mean that's the current climate. We're all going to do it at some point, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it just depends on how much I love that person, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all about love.
Have you guys done it? Tell me the truth. Oh my god, they're quiet. They've done it.
Nope.
They don't even want to talk about it.
I'm not gonna say, Maddie.
Oh no. I'll ask your lady when I come to LA. That's for
All right.
sure. Andrew's
Well,
like,
it's a
"Never
good time to start wrapping it up.
Yeah. I gotta go and
Ending it with
watch
Peggy.
Game of Thrones and then go sleep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to end it out. So thanks again, everybody, for listening to SuperHouse Podcast, Episode 13. You can catch us on SoundCloud and iTunes at search for SuperHouse Podcast. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/SuperHouse Podcast, twitter.com/SuperHouse Pod. We're going to be posting our first YouTube video on youtube.com/SuperHouse Podcast. And I think that's it. Oh, and Instagram as well. Search for SuperHouse Podcast. We're on there. We've been posting a bit on that. And I think that's it. Anybody got anything else to say?
Nope.
No. Goodbye.
All right,
Go
cool.
see Civil War.
I personally am going to be in
Again.
Japan next week. Yeah, I'm going to be in Japan next week. I'm leaving tomorrow at 6 p.m. my time. I'm going to be there until the 18th of May. So I'll be there for a little bit, and I'll be posting a shitload of videos, hopefully. And I think that's it. I'm hopefully going to be remoting in from Japan like Israel did that time, and I think that's all I got. Okay.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.